Wolverines filing into Michigan Stadium for the final time this season. It is the last home game. Next week, Michigan travels to Columbus to take on Ohio State. But first, they have their sights firmly set on the Wisconsin Badgers. The Badgers coming in just 1-5 in the Big Ten, but they do have Brooks Bollinger and running back Anthony Davis back for this game. Wisconsin starting off 5-0. They need one more win to become bowl eligible, and they hope to get it this afternoon with an upset win over Michigan. Kickoff coming up, but first, here's Matt Weiner.
Pam, thank you very much. These two teams don't meet again until 2005. Michigan has really owned this series. 14 of the last 16 have gone to the Wolverines. And Michigan still has a chance, at least, for a share of the Big Ten title. They've got to worry about not looking forward to Ohio State this week.
Well, they can't afford to, but the thing about Ohio State, they've defeated Ohio State 5 of the last 7 games, and you look ahead for this football game, and it looks to be a great showdown. They would like nothing better than to knock off Ohio State and keep them out of the Fiesta Bowl. But let's talk about today's game. John Navarre, the quarterback of Michigan, has taken a tremendous amount of heat this year for not executing this offense. But basically, if you look at his numbers, he's completed 55% of his passes, 19 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions. I think any coach in America would take a quarterback with those numbers. John Navarre is a very good quarterback, and watch him go deep to Braylon Edwards in this football game as he's done all season.
Michigan still has a chance to play on New Year's Day, but they keep playing close games. The only team in the country to win 4 games by a field goal or less. Could be another tight one at the Big House today. And it'll get a little tighter thanks to this guy, Brooks Bollinger, out last week with the concussion, but fired up and ready to go at the Big House.
Michigan seniors running on in the maize and blue for the final time at Michigan Stadium as number 10 Michigan plays its final home game of the season, trying not to look ahead to Ohio State down in Columbus next week. The matter at hand, defeating the Badgers of Wisconsin, who come in 6-5. Wisconsin needs a win to become bowl eligible. Hello and welcome inside chilly Michigan Stadium. Pam Ward along with Chris Spielman. And Chris, 3 weeks ago, Iowa came into this building and really handed it to Michigan. Since then, they've been a different team, especially John.
Well, and they have been, and it's been under the leadership of Lloyd Carr. What he did after the Iowa beating, he took his guys and went to practice and practiced the old Michigan way. They pounded and banged each other. And John Navarre's been outstanding. 454 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions past 2 games. He's the reason why they're winning.
Now, Wisconsin desperately needs a win. Barry Alvarez needs one more to get a bowl.
Well, they do, and Coach Alvarez is a leader to do it. And also they got to count on their quarterback, Brooks Bollinger, who's back this week. He can guy that can throw the ball. He can also hurt you with his feet.
And Bollinger did not play last week because of another knock in the head, and you see the people bundled up here in Ann Arbor, and for good reason. Temperatures are in the 30s, some overcast skies, wind chills now recorded at 25 degrees, and maybe, just maybe, we will get some light snow as Michigan gets ready to receive the football. Wisconsin actually won the toss but deferred, so the Wolverines will get their hands on the football first. Chris, a big game coming up next week in Columbus.
Yeah, Lloyd Carr's a seasoned veteran. He understands. He's had success against Ohio State. And being humbled by Iowa, this team can't afford to look ahead to anybody. And they know that Wisconsin is a dangerous football team. They have 2 good wide receivers, a quarterback. Anthony Davis is back. They're not going to look ahead.
And Wisconsin is a team that started off the season 5-0, and then they hit Big Ten play. Only 1-5 in the conference. Scott Campbell, the junior from Clemson, South Carolina, will kick off. Jeremy Lesur, number 21, back along with Tim Bracken. And it is a very, very short kick fielded by one of the up men. And Wisconsin will have Michigan take over at the 25. Well, John Navarre continues to improve. He's a Wisconsin native, 19 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions on the season. Chris Perry is the leading rusher for this football team. Michigan is ranked 9th, however, in the Big Ten in rushing. B.J. Askew has done a good job picking up the slack. Perry finally healthy after he sprained his ankle a couple of weeks ago. So here comes Michigan, winners of 2 straight games, taking on Wisconsin, a team they have dominated in their series. Play action. Navarre right away goes to his tight end, Benny Jopru close to a first down. Michigan's offensive line, you take a look at them as Dave Pearson anchors it in the center position. And the defensive line for Wisconsin, a couple of talented ends in Jake Sprague and Erasmus James. Sprague leading the Badgers with 6 sacks on the season.
Michigan coming out and getting their fine tight end Benny Jopru involved early to put pressure on Wisconsin's safeties and linebackers.
And the first carry to Chris Perry, and he picks up the first down for the Wolverines. Jeff Mack is still sidelined. The middle linebacker is out now 6 games with a stinger. Alex Lewis has been moved and is more comfortable in his new position at linebacker. And walk-on Jim Leonard still doesn't have a scholarship, but he does have 8 interceptions, which is tied for the lead.
Give that boy a scholarship. He's earned it.
Leonard from Tony, Wisconsin, a very small town, no doubt will be on scholarship soon. Flags going down as Perry on first down picks up about a yard. Kyle McCorson coming in to make the stop. Big Ten officiating crew, that's Steve Newman, our referee.
Looked like to me that, yeah, Wisconsin was lined up off sides.
And that is exactly the call, offsides against the Badgers. Let's go down to the third member of our team, Rob Stone. Rob.
Pam, after Michigan was blown out by Tennessee in the Citrus Bowl to conclude their season last year, Lloyd Card called in his quarterback into his office, said, look, you know, John, it's not going to be any easier being a quarterback here at Michigan. You're going to have to deal with this criticism that you're taking and have to take a little bit more onus on yourself. He said, yeah, I'm up to the task. Anybody could have said yes, but Navarre backed it up immediately. He dropped a quick 15 pounds to add some more agility to his game. He became more of a presence in the locker room, the film room, and in the huddle. Now he can leave Michigan holding every single pass record in history.
And in fact, Rob, he could break a couple of them today. Perry breaks free into Badger territory, and he is finally brought down from behind at the 31. Kyle McCorson among those chasing him down.
I'm going to tell you what Michigan does here. This is a designed cutback play, and it's great vision by Chris Perry. Here's Braylon Edwards and B.J. Askew right here. You'll see they pull the guard even, but Chris Perry makes a great cut because Wisconsin's defense adjusted with the motion. There's nobody back there to cover the backside contain or the cutback. And Chris Perry, he needs to get on stride for this Michigan offense to be their most potent.
And he picked up 27 yards on that carry. He has had a bad ankle, only 16 yards on 9 carries in that loss to Iowa, but he did have 60 yards and a touchdown against Minnesota in a big win last week. Navarre to Jopru, and he picks up about 4 on that catch.
Again, that's a nice throw by John Navarre, and Benny Jopru runs a nice route, but Kyle McCorson, he had good coverage, and the mistake that Kyle made was that he looked back at the quarterback. As he looked back at the quarterback, Benny Jopru started gaining ground. If you keep your eye on your guy, he's not going to pull away from you.
And Jopru obviously is a guy that you have to keep your eye on, as he came in with 38 catches on the season, second only to Braylon Edwards on this football team. B.J. Askew, the other running back, showing the power and the speed, diving for the end zone, touchdown, what a run. Touchdown run for B.J. Askew.
Yeah, Wisconsin, if you're going to have a free man, Jim Leonard was the free man in the box. He missed the tackle, and if you want big plays by the running game, your receivers need to block downfield. Braylon Edwards got a great block on a defensive back downfield, and B.J. knows how to find the end zone.
Adam Finley in to add the extra point. Didn't take Michigan long at all. They took the opening kickoff, capped off by B.J. Askew's touchdown run. 27 yards out, the Wolverines on the board first. It only took Michigan 2 minutes and 46 seconds to go 75 yards. B.J. Askew scoring his 7th touchdown of the season, on a 27-yard run. First rushing touchdown allowed by Wisconsin in 6 games. And now Wisconsin is about to get the ball for the first time this afternoon. Philip Brabb's kickoff drives Brandon Williams about 4 yards deep. Comes out and pays for it as he is knocked down at the 17-yard line. Brooks Bollinger is indeed back. Sat out last week's loss to Illinois after suffering what is believed to be his second concussion in 3 weeks. And Anthony Davis is also back. 1,000-yard rusher missed last week after being stabbed in the left thigh in a domestic dispute.
Keep your eye on Matt Bernstein. He'll lead you to the ball a lot of times when you're in a two-back offense.
Brooks Bollinger, a senior from Grand Forks, North Dakota, completing 56% of his passes. And right away, Davis gets the ball and loses it. Michigan gets it on Wisconsin's very first offensive play of the game.
You're getting in dangerous territory right now. You're in danger of being blown out when you haven't won and lost 5 of your last 6. You're going to see right there Marlon Jackson comes up and puts a helmet on the arm. Victor Hobson with the recovery because they followed Bernstein, who led in the football. Marlon Jackson, not only a great cover guy, but a great run support guy at the corner like he showed right there. Nice hit.
I tell you, the takeaways, Chris, mounting up now. 24 this season. They had 19 all of last year. Wisconsin has been taking care of the football. That's only their 3rd fumble in the last 11 games. Hobson's 2nd fumble recovery this year as Ronald Bellamy picks up about 8 on that. We pick up Matt Weiner.
All right, Pam, Iowa and Minnesota playing for Floyd of Rosedale. That's that big bronze pig they play for. And Fred Russell wants the hog. 10 yards out, touchdown. Iowa scores yet again on their first drive. They're up 7-0.
All right, Matt, and Iowa making a living on scoring on first drives. Formidable team. 2 tight ends here for Michigan. Michigan, like Iowa, scored on its first drive, and after a fumble by Anthony Davis, have it back. Perry picks up a couple.
Yeah, Alex Lewis does a nice job of coming from his linebacker spot, scraping to the outside and closing the gate in front of the ball. Good open field tackle on Chris Perry. He's really come on. Junior college transfer. He's getting better each week.
In fact, had a career high tying 13 tackles against Illinois, and he has worked very hard. He says his goal is simply to try to get better every day, and he has worked towards that as he tries to pick up this Wisconsin defense. Now 3rd and 2 for the Wolverines. Perry working the left side of the line, breaks free, and it's another Michigan touchdown. 2 possessions, 2 scores.
They're coming out with some purpose right now. And it's a bad intentions. Bad intentions for Wisconsin because they're blowing them off the ball. Chris Perry showing great vision. A lead block by B.J. Askew. Chris being patient, cuts it back again, and runs through tacklers through the end zone.
And that is the 10th rushing touchdown for Chris Perry this year. Finley already has 2 extra points, less than 5 minutes into the game. So Chris Perry and B.J. Askew sharing time in the backfield. Each of them have a touchdown already. 14-0 Michigan. Welcome back to Ann Arbor, where Michigan has scored twice already. 14-0. Lloyd Carr, in his 8th year as the head coach here at Michigan, has won over 77% of his games and has never lost to Wisconsin. Of course, they won the national championship under Lloyd back in 1997. Michigan off to a terrific start. They've won 14 of the last 16 games in this series, which they lead 46-10 and 1 overall. Brandon Williams, 2nd kickoff return of the day, and he is stopped down by a bunch of maize and blue around the 20. The Wisconsin offensive line, NFL prospects, and cousins Ben and Al Johnson.
Yeah, and Al Johnson, the best, most athletic center in the country, will be a #1 draft pick.
A center who likes to pull. The Badgers have given up the most sacks in the Big Ten. Michigan defense has 32 sacks, most in the Big Ten defensively. Senior Dan Rumashek has 4 of them, so we'll keep an eye on that and see how much pressure they can get on Bollinger. This is only Wisconsin's 2nd offensive play of the day. Anthony Davis picks up about 1, was the guy who fumbled the first time he touched the football. The Michigan linebackers, Victor Hobson is a leading tackler. Joey Sarantos making his first career start, filling in for Zach Kaufman, who blew out his knee last week. And Marlon Jackson is simply a superstar, according to Wisconsin offensive coordinator Brian White.
Yeah, Brian White says not a lot of people know about him in the country, but a lot of people in the Wisconsin locker room know about him.
Said he wanted to kind of keep it quiet to his kids so they didn't get too scared of him. 2nd and 9, Bollinger's first pass. Time underneath, completes it to Williams. And he gets popped and then gets up and has some words for Scott McClintock.
Well, Scott McClintock getting some action in there, and does a nice job of wrapping him up and running through the ball carrier. You see it right here. Boom. Nice contact, leading with his eyes, seeing what he hits.
Getting some stuff.
Well, Williams wants to know, you didn't hurt me. McClintock said, that's all right, come across the middle again. We'll see what we have.
Well, after coming across the middle, he picked up 4. Wisconsin 10th out of 11th in the Big Ten in 3rd down conversions. And they are unable to convert there as Tony Pachotti, the tight end, can't get it. Cato June, good coverage.
Yeah, Cato June. See, there was an example of where Cato June didn't look back at the quarterback until the hands of the receiver went up to catch the ball, and Cato was up there to disrupt him and disallow the catch. Nice throw by Bollinger, though. Not showing any rustiness so far.
Because he did, again, not play last week. R.J. Morse has been struggling the last couple of games for Wisconsin. His average only around 38 yards per punt the last 2 games. Morse gets it off cleanly. Coming up to field it is Jermaine Gonzalez. And Michigan will take it over with pretty good field position at the 36-yard line. That was a 38-yard punt. Michigan's up 2 TDs. Barry Alvarez, the winningest coach in Wisconsin history, but this has been a tough season for his club as they are down 14-0 in this game and are 6-5 overall. Just 1-5 in the Big Ten. Chris Perry has 1 or 2 touchdowns for Michigan, and he picks up 3 on that carry. Coming up tonight, ESPN's College Football Saturday, presented by the U.S. Postal Service. How about a doubleheader? 6 Eastern, we got South Carolina and Florida. Follow that up with more SEC football as Alabama takes on LSU. For more on upcoming games, log on to ESPN.com, keyword schedule. And what a scene last week. Guy Morris and company thought they had it, but then this play, Devery Henderson on the last play of the game, Chris.
You got to have a guy behind the ball standing at the goal line.
They did not do that. They did not tip the ball down, and therefore Kentucky lost the game as Askew catches it short of the first down. Here's Matt Weiner.
And Syracuse on a mini streak after that awful start, taking on Boston College. Believe it or not, both these teams could each find their way to a bowl game. Brandon Brokaw finds his way to the end zone. BC up 7-3. Meanwhile, Michigan State, Morris Watts looking to go 2-0, and they're up 3-0 early in the first.
Thank you, Matt. A lot of teams looking forward to possible bowl bids, and teams like Syracuse, you thought were dead in the water, among them. 3rd and 3 for the Wolverines. Askew is stopped about a yard short.
Interesting decision coming up here now. I mean, if you think about if you want to bury them, because Wisconsin right now has come out there too nice. They've been playing too nice. If you want to come out and send a message to Wisconsin that you guys are done, you go for it.
And they are not going to go for it. They think about it.
They thought about it.
And decided to send out Adam Finley and the rest of the punt team.
A huge stop for Wisconsin's defense.
They needed it after giving up 2 touchdowns in the first 2 possessions. The first one only a 19-yard drive after a fumble. Adam Finley to Jim Leonard, second best punt returner in the Big Ten, and Leonard breaks a couple of tackles and gets it up close to the 19-yard line.
Rumashek playing defensive end, coming down and covering punts too. That's nice.
Let's take a look at what happened. A wild game last year between these 2 teams. Minute 32 left, and the Badgers cannot convert on that field goal. That leaves the door open, tied up at 17 apiece. Michigan with the punt, and Wisconsin's Brett Bell. He says he tries to not think about this play. Hit him in the leg, so that set up Hayden Epstein's game-winning field goal with 10 seconds left, and Michigan took it 20-17. Wisconsin trying to come back as Brandon Williams collects his second catch of the day. picks up about 6 yards on that. And last year's game, you saw the game-winning field goal, and Michigan only 163 yards of total offense, but Michigan did block a couple of R.J. Morse punts that set up 10 points. Morse says he blames himself for that loss, and it was a big loss for Wisconsin, who did not get to a bowl last year.
And bottom line, special teams cost them the game. Didn't convert the field goal, then there's nobody covering you. There's no need to block anybody down there.
Bell just not aware of where the football was as Davis breaks free for the first down. And a little bit more. He gets it all the way up to the 45-yard line. We'll take you back to Matt Weiner.
Pam, Purdue trying to bounce back from that tough loss against Ohio State. Down 3-0 to Michigan State. They give it to Joey Harris. Little stiff arm goes around the right side. And that's good for a half dozen. Boilers back on top, 7-3.
Thank you, Matt. Big game for Michigan State as they rebounded very nicely in a win last week. And should be an entertaining game all afternoon. First down run for Davis. Bollinger throwing. And that one is in the general vicinity of Jonathan Orr. The freshman is the leading receiver on this football team.
Yeah, that's Jonathan Orr on a nice little comeback route. Brooks' timing was messed up a little bit, which can happen if you don't play a game. Your game speed gets disrupted. Tend not to be on time with your receivers. That'll come though as the game progresses.
Jonathan Orr, what a talent. It was stepped in and picked up some of the slack left by Lee Evans' absence all season. That was a misconnection, however, so it's 2nd and 10. Bollinger keeping it himself, but he doesn't get far. Again, Bollinger coming off another concussion. And they decide to give it to him. Tough guy who still really doesn't know how to avoid getting hit sometimes.
No, he's got to learn how to avoid getting hit. Everybody knows he's a tough guy, and I'm a guy that admits that he's a tough guy because I've watched him play a number of years. But you have to decide what's best for the football team, and as a quarterback, you need to get down. When you're close to the sidelines, either get out of bounds or get down to avoid the hit because the team needs you on the field. They don't need you in the training room.
They are 28-11 is Wisconsin when Bollinger starts. 3rd and 10. He got no gain that last time out of the shotgun. Looking over the middle, and he finds his receiver nicely in the seam as Orr collects the first down pass.
Well, that's a nice job by Brooks Bollinger. Again, doing kind of a semi-roll to his right. Jonathan Orr running a deep dig. Now, when you run a deep dig, these linebackers got to get back here and be aware of where that ball is being thrown and be aware of receivers is. Right there, Diggs got into his drop, but he was not aware where Orr was coming from. You have to be aware of where people are coming from. That's why you get your head on a swivel and you look all around like that. See, the microphone's flying off, but you got to get your head on a swivel.
You pumped yourself in the nose there with the mic.
Again, another flashback on my part. I won't hit you though, Pam, I promise.
Oh, okay, that's nice. I have someone in between us. Norman Hoyer looks like he moved a little bit as we check out this penalty marker.
Prior to the snap, offside, defense. 5-yard penalty remains, first down.
A good move to hard count that too. You got a big play, you hard count, you get a cheap 5.
Hoyer was offsides, and you were just showing me how to swivel your head around. We're going to show shortly how you watch film and how other guys can benefit by doing your little Chris Spielman method.
I think it's the best way to watch film if you're a player. We'll get into that in a little bit, but you play the game before you play the game.
1st and 5 after the offsides, and Anthony Davis gets nada on that carry. Davis playing with that hurt left thigh again. He was involved in a domestic dispute a couple of weeks ago, was stabbed in the left thigh, allegedly by a former girlfriend, and his lawyer was in court on Thursday asking that charges be dropped. A judge is deciding that, and there's a pretrial conference coming up to discuss the charges later on this month. In fact, on November 19th. So
he doesn't look like he's limping to me though. So he's running good. He's running hard. Looks like he has some turnover. His feet are moving pretty quick.
They say he is healthy. Bollinger, with a guy in his face, gets it off to Russ Kuhns, his fullback. On a 2nd down, they're going to be about 2 yards short of a first down. We take you back to Matt Weiner. Matt.
Pam, North Carolina State desperate for that 10th win. Remember, the Wolfpack have never won 10 wins this season on a 2-game losing streak taking on Virginia, and they're down. Matt Shaw up to Ottawa. Anderson 21 yards. Wahoo's up 7-0.
All right, Matt, NC State going south in a hurry, losing to Maryland last week, and we will be in Charlottesville next week for Maryland, Virginia. That should be a very entertaining football game. Two good teams. 3rd and 1 for the Wolverines, or for the Badgers. Bollinger, no time whatsoever as Sean Lazarus wraps him up and takes him down.
Well, what Brooks has got to do, okay, you have a 3rd and 1 situation. You have a one-man route. They try to get Michigan safeties to suck up with the play action handoff to Anthony Davis. You see right here. And they're coming on a blitz, so they're pretty well protected. Wisconsin does that for maximum blitz. Here's the one-man route, Jonathan Orr. Now, if he's not open, dump the ball, 4th and 1. You live to fight another day. Now you lose all opportunity to at least go for it on 4th down. One-man route, throw it away if he's not there.
Lazarus's first sack, a big one, as Morse tries to get the favorable bounce, and indeed he does. So he pins Michigan back. Talked about watching film and what it takes, and here's your lesson.
A great way to watch the film as a young player is to actually put yourself into the screen. I have my defense called. I'm number 6, the linebacker for Ohio State. I recognize the offensive formation. I get my pre-snap keys. I see the tight end standing up, ready to come in motion. Here comes the tight end motion. I adjust to him. I see the guard getting ready to lean and pull. He pulls. That tells me counter OT. I run and make the play. I'm 35 again, the middle linebacker. I look at the down and distance. I look at them offensive linemen. They're sitting heavy. I know it's run. I'm playing run. I'm thinking run. On a snap, oh, there it is. I step and fill, come back and make the play.
Talk about more on that in a second as Michigan is pinned back. And don't get much on that 1st down carry. So, Chris, this is something you did as a football player. You watch film, and we see the way that you move around, and you think it's very beneficial.
Well, I think it is for all young players, because I'm a big believer in visualization, and you actually play the game. So you can play 3 or 4 games before you line up and play the opponent. You familiarize yourself not only with their plays, but the angle that you will see the plays if you take yourself and put yourself into the screen. You got to think deep to do that.
Did you teach yourself that?
It just made sense. No, really, it makes sense to do that.
Harry with that carry gets a couple.
On this play, I'm 35, the linebacker. Now my pre-snap read tells me that the linemen are sitting awful light. They're in a shotgun. That running back's looking right at me. He knows I have a man-to-man. Now, once the ball is snapped, I'm ready to play football. I'm in my stance. I'm ready. I'm bugging. There it goes. There's a pass. I get my drop, and I go to the football.
You're bugging.
That means your eyes get really big, like a bug eyes. You know, and you're ready to go. You're ready to play.
Not Buckeye, but Bug-Eye.
Right.
There is a difference. You were a Bug-Eye Buckeye.
I was a Bug-Eye Buckeye there.
3rd and 5 for Michigan. Navarre trying to get him out of the hole, and that is knocked down nicely by Scott Starks, looking for Braylon Edwards.
Good job by Scotty Starks right there, getting that long arm across, avoiding contact and going through the man, but going around the man and knocking the ball. Outstanding play by Scotty Starks right here. He's going to go to his tight end, Joffrey, right here. He likes him. He's a good receiver. And he came in on the option route with Braylon Edwards. Joffrey was covered. Braylon Edwards comes in on a little option route. Scotty Starks follows him, avoids contact, knocked the ball down.
Good play by Starks. Navarre's first incompletion. He is now 4 for 5 on the day for 23 yards. Adam Finley punting on the goal line, taken on the dead run by Jim Leonard. So dangerous as a punt returner. Can he beat Finley? Yes, Wisconsin on the board.
Well, you saw that coming. Why? Because, first of all, Michigan was not aware of where the ball was kicked. When you watch punt defenders run down to cover a punt, they usually have to find the football. The ball was kicked so poorly that nobody was aware. They got a late jump on it. And you see Wisconsin guys clearing people out, making a wall. Michigan, nobody gets a hand on them. Looked like they were trying to avoid contact. It's not practice, guys. You're allowed to hit the punt returner. And Jimmy Leonard said, thanks for the gift. I'll finish.
Boy, he took it on the dead run there, Chris. That is his first touchdown on a punt return as Mike Allen kicks the extra point. And just like that, Wisconsin has cut the lead in half.
Okay, here you see the short kick. Now, first of all, he knows he has the halo rule for protection. And right here, there's missed tackles all over the place. Nobody working to get off blocks. And this kid knows how to find the end zone, knows where the seams are and the weakness of the punt coverage by watching film, and does a good job of putting it in the end zone.
For more, let's go to Rob Stone. Rob.
Hey, Pam, Leonard is taking away as much as he's given to Wisconsin. His 8 picks are tied for most in the country. He's their starting strong safety, and he's second in the Big Ten in punt returns. And all this is from a guy who's paying his way through school. He was a walk-on, but the initial walk-on scholarships had been used up. So, guys, he'll have to wait till next year to earn a scholarship. Not bad for a guy returning touchdowns here in the Big House.
And he is a sophomore, a guy who walked on, as Rob said, still waiting for that scholarship. And he does have 8 interceptions, as Rob mentioned. That is tied for tops in the entire country.
He knows how to find the ball, and you know, he's a natural football player. He's instinctive. He's around the football. He gets a great jump on ball. You see, he kind of sneaks and hides in coverage, knows where it is. And if he has to fight for one, he'll go ahead and fight you and beat you up for it.
He's a good athlete, only 5'8", but he won the team's slam dunk competition before the season.
Well, that's pretty good. You got pretty good get up if you can do that now.
Got some ups, and he showed a speed on that punt return. First time a Badger, by the way, has returned a punt for a touchdown since Josh Hunt did it against Western Michigan in 2000, so first time in 2 years.
They asked him at first, you know, can you dunk a basketball? His answer was any way you want it.
And he did it. And he can also return a punt any way you want it. And remember, that was set up. R.J. Morris with that nice punt that pinned Michigan back. And a short field and the punt for Wisconsin, and they score. Jeremy Lasora bringing back that kickoff, and he is stopped down at the 30. Tomorrow night, we got NFL football coming your way at 8:30 Eastern. The Patriots and the Raiders, both teams 5-4. Coverage begins with NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite at 7:30 Eastern. You can also catch it on ESPN Deportes, ESPN and ABC, your exclusive home for primetime football. And the last time these two teams met, in 2001, it was a crazy game. Tom Brady has been playing much better after that mini slump, during which time the Patriots were 0-4.
He's playing with a lot of confidence, and he still admits he was throwing that ball forward.
Michigan guy. Askew tries to tip it to himself, but it's just a little bit too far. There's that infamous tuck rule that took away what Oakland thought was a win for them, and you get to see the rematch tomorrow night on ESPN.
And actually, the Raiders had a boycott of the officials. You know, at training camp, the officials come and explain the rules to each team. The Raiders walked out of that. I thought that was, you know, it's over. There's nothing you can do about it now. And speaking of which, B.J. Askew right there, a rare drop. He usually has great, reliable hands out of the backfield.
28 catches on the season with a touchdown coming in for B.J. 2nd and 10. So they go to Chris Perry up the middle, and this Wisconsin defense is getting a little stout, as you would like to say. 2 straight 3-and-outs from Michigan, and now they're going to be facing a 3rd and 10.
Time in the middle of the Wisconsin defensive line, big Antosh Hawthorne holding people up, not getting pushed off the line of scrimmage, disengaging, wrapping the ball carry up and bringing them down. Now Wisconsin's working up. They came out and they were too nice, as they say. You come into the big house, you better have your mean face on.
Nice and nasty. They've been that way the last 3 possessions. And it is 3rd and 10. Jockru in motion over the middle, but going a little bit deeper, close to the first down marker. Jason Avant, the true freshman from Chicago. They really like this receiver, and he does get the first down.
Yeah, and Jason does a good job because he can read coverage and know where the weakness and where to break the route is. Understand if it's zone, you set the route down, and man-to-man, you come across. That was a great job by John Navarre of hanging in the pocket, delivering a strike to give Avant a chance to get to his destination, knowing that he was going to take the hit. He hung in there and took it.
He talked to us yesterday, the coaches did, about how tough Avant is. 6'1", 205, says he doesn't play like a freshman. He certainly did not there. Askew escapes a tackle in the backfield and picks up a couple on that play. John Navarre, the junior from Cudahy, Wisconsin, leading his team. They're up 14-7. Michigan scored the first 2 times it had the ball. And Jim Leonard coming back with the punt return for the touchdown as Michigan closes in, taking on the Buckeyes next week. 14-7 after 1 quarter. Michigan fans quieted now 14-7. They were up 14-zip less than 5 minutes into this game, but a Jim Leonard punt return has cut the lead in half. Now it's 2nd and 8. John Navarre trying to make something as he gets it up to Askew. rescue who fumbles the football away. It's still on the field, and the Badgers get it. That had danger written all over it from the get-go. The initial signal was that Wisconsin had the football.
They're going after it down in that pile now, I'm telling you.
Jim Leonard, who else? The ball hawk picks it up for the Badgers.
Well, actually, that's a good job by John Navarro finding the outlet receiver right here. BJ Askew checks for blitz, and he'll check down right here. John Navarro, awareness, understand, gives him the ball. And you see Sprague coming from behind and clubbing that underneath. That's coached. That's a way to get the ball out. Now, what BJ has to do, he's got to tuck that ball so you see no air. That's awareness by John Navarro to dump the ball. Big Sprague coming, punches it out there. And here it comes. It's a battle for that football now. And Leonard making a statement strong early in the football game.
Dwayne Smith has checked in, the running back, spelling Anthony Davis. He picks up a couple, and we'll take you right back to Matt Weiner. Matt.
Hi, Pam. Thank you very much. And we'll take you right back to that Iowa-Minnesota game. Boy, do they want Floyd of Rosedale. Give me the pig. Assad Abdul-Khalid to Antone Burns. Look at the effort to get into the end zone and put Minnesota back in this game, tied at 7. Meanwhile, Boston College looking for their first Big East win of the year, up by 10 on the Qs.
Amazing that Boston College has not yet won a game in their conference. The team that toppled Notre Dame and South Bend. 2nd and 8. After Smith picked up a couple, now he's protecting Bollinger. Boy, he threw that over a linebacker, McClintock, and it falls incomplete, looking for Brandon Williams.
Now, what Wisconsin's doing is seeing that Michigan linebackers are pulling their drops up short, so they want to drop the ball in between the safety and the linebacker. And again, right there is a game timing type of route, because you have to throw the ball on time with precision, and it's different in practice in the game because of the speed of the game and the receivers. He underthrew that a little bit, and that's a tough touch pass to make. But Williams was open, and one that probably the ball should have been delivered.
It was not, so now it's 3rd and 8, and Bollinger now has 3 receivers in. And he goes down for the 2nd time today. That time it's Shante Orr, his 5th sack of the season.
That big Shante Orr coming around the corner on the speed rush, and that was where Wisconsin hit a big first down, where they tried to semi-roll, and you'll see Orr. Brooks is going to semi-roll right here, or the receiver's going to come down and run his deep dig. But the Wisconsin line didn't protect long enough to give Brooks a chance to throw the deep dig. Shante Orr with a nice move and a good finish.
For the player from Detroit, Michigan, this is R.J. Morse, the Hawaiian, with the punt. And that was a very late fair catch signal by Jermaine Gonzalez.
Yeah.
So Michigan takes the ball over. Wisconsin has given up the most sacks in the Big Ten. They've given up 2 this afternoon. Latest one, Shante Orr.
Shante Orr coming up with a big sack. Coach Jim Herman, the defensive coordinator, was looking for Shante to get back on his game, and he has so far today.
Shante all smiles over there in the huddle. Michigan with the 7-point lead. Football back. It's Chris Perry breaking free, picks up about 8. Time for our Aflac trivia question. There are 3 teams in the top 10 right now for the Big Ten. Our question, therefore, when was the last time 3 Big Ten teams finished the season ranked in the top 10? We will have the answer coming up, and here is a look at that top 10. Ohio State at number 2. Then you got Iowa currently leading Minnesota 14-7 at number 5, and good old Michigan at number 10.
Michigan's done a nice job after the early loss. Notre Dame coming back, playing strong.
2nd and 2. Navarre, a little play action. He has time, and it's thrown right to a Wisconsin player. It's Lamar Watkins with his first interception of the season, and that is a rarity for Navarre to throw a pick.
Well, what it was they're going to give Wisconsin a little dose of their own medicine, where John Navarre was going to do a semi-roll, and Braylon Edwards was coming all the way across the field. See, Navarre's going to come out here, roll, kind of a waggle pass. There's Braylon Edwards, but he never sees Hawkins. Right here's the all-22. You'll take a look at. Here comes Orr. He's going to try to sneak across, but Navarre never sees him sitting right there. Never sees him sitting down.
Only the 5th interception thrown by Navarre this season, and in Big Ten play this year, 12 touchdown passes, now just 2 picks thrown by John, as Anthony Davis doesn't get much. He's on the phone with the guys upstairs to talk it over. We'll send it back to Matt Weiner. Matt.
Hi, Pam. More development in that battle for Floyd of Rosedale between Iowa and Minnesota. Tied up at 7. There's Fred Russell. 7 100-yard games on the season. He's well on his way to an 8th. 55 yards. This one will go. His compadre Jamel Lewis punches it in, and Iowa up a touchdown.
All right, Matt. Chris and I saw firsthand last week how good that Iowa offense is. Pitch it to Davis, and Anthony Davis gets around the corner, picks up a first down, finally taken out of bounds by Charles Drake. He picked up 15 on that carry.
That's great patience in the option by Brooks Bollinger. Brooks normally might have kept that. Now he had a concussion. He says, maybe I should pitch it and let my running back have it. And he does right there. Or on the outside, you don't see it there, but I'm talking about receivers blocking downfield, make big running plays happen. Or got a great block on Marlon Jackson. Anthony Davis showing the type of speed that offensive coordinator Brian White likes that he brings to the football game, because he has the ability to go the distance.
And that is one thing that he has over the freshman Dwayne Smith, who gained over 100 yards in Anthony's absence last week against Minnesota. Bollinger, does he go down? Nope. Stays on his feet.
Yeah, he went down there.
Ducked his head nicely. Yeah. Picked up about 4 and avoided the big hit.
And it's important to realize, too, with Brooks, that when you start going down as a quarterback, it's not because you're not tough. I think he's proved his toughness over and over, not only to his teammates and his coaches, but to the rest of the Big Ten. It's important to go down because that is what is best for your football team. That's being a leader and being unselfish, knowing that you need to be in the ball game, and it's best for your health, young man.
Especially in his days after football, too. He is a senior and wants to go out with another bowl game and has to think, as Chris said, about his long-term health. That 2nd and 6. Davis inside runs into his own guy and tumbles forward for a first down.
Well, Sarantos had him in his sights and gave him the ballet pirouette, whatever that's called, a little spin move there. I think it's a pirouette. You'll see it right here. This is a counter OE. That means the offensive guard and the tight end that went in motion are pulling and coming to lead block. And no, actually it was Drake that he gave the pirouette to. That was a nice little move. Anthony Davis is playing hungry now after fumbling after being hit by Marlon Jackson in the first series.
So a ballet aficionado, are you?
Well, I'll pretend I am.
Pick your spots as Davis picks up another couple. We take you to Matt Weiner. Matt.
Hi, Pam. Michigan State and Purdue down in West Lafayette. Spartans down 7-3, and this is the future of Spartan football, no matter who's coaching the team. David Richard, 14 yards for the freshman. Spartans up by 3.
The Michigan State team has responded well to Morris Watts, haven't they? Under all the troubles they've had, they've come out and not quit. They had a big win last week, and they're playing a good Purdue football team well today.
And that David Richards now playing at tailback to Juan Moss dismissed. And a lot of people thought that David was the more talented of the two anyway, and he was the fellow who scored that touchdown. 2nd and 7. Bollinger. He has room to run. They close in, but he gets down to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Picked up a couple on that.
Well, that's a good decision. That was a 2-man route that time. They have their big tight ends. They're blocking tight ends in. It's a 2-man route with Orr and Williams. Both of them were covered. Brooks there made a quick decision, transition to the run nicely, and put them in a manageable 3rd down situation. Now, don't forget, you got the back of the end zone. We're on the 8 yard line. You got the back of the end zone as your 12th defender, so the routes will be cut down shorter. So you need to get your pass reads quicker if you're the quarterback.
3rd and 5. Wisconsin 1 for 4 on 3rd down so far today, and Bollinger takes a timeout. First one Wisconsin is taken. Big play coming up. Down a touchdown. 3rd down. We'll be back.
ESPN2's presentation of college football, brought to you by new Campbell's Chunky Roasted Favorites. Hearty soups that fill you up right.
That is a whole lot of championships won by Michigan. They have won 40 Big Ten football titles. They've been playing football here since 1879. 123rd season of Wolverine football. They're facing a 3rd and 5. Bollinger into the end zone, and it's just off the fingertips of Brandon Williams. Marcus Curry on the coverage.
Yeah, Marcus got away with hanging on right there. It looked like he was hanging on to Williams on the skinny post. That's a nice job, though. Brooks Bollinger threw the ball where it needed to be thrown. And also, Wisconsin's offensive line does a great job of picking up maximum blitz there in zero coverage. That means no safety deep. Barry says, come on, get it. Man, catch the ball. Come on now. Lee Evans would have caught that. That's what he's saying right now.
Well, don't you know he wishes he could have had him all year. 27-yard field goal attempt for Mike Allen, who was 11 for 17 on the season. And he missed it. Allen from 27 yards away yanks it wide. And Wisconsin, which has not been effective in the red zone all season, misses that one.
Hit it, boys. This week, the Countdown Gang catches up with the NFL's brightest. We've got Tom, who's buckling up for football's biggest rematch.
I was pretty confident as a first-year player, but now I'm even more confident.
Donovan, who's wondering how to find the end zone.
I may hold the ball.
Back in Ann Arbor, Mike Allen had been 4 for 4 in field goal attempts under 30 yards, but he missed that 27-yarder. In the red zone offense in Big Ten play, Wisconsin is 9th in the Big Ten during conference games, scoring only 72% of the times in the red zone, and they failed to do it there.
When you're on the road, you got to get points when you have an opportunity to get points.
Perry with an opportunity. He picks up big yardage on first down, actually knocked out after about a 6-yard gain. Here's Matt Weiner.
Pam, Iowa running all over the Gophers, out rushing them by about a 10-to-1 ratio at this moment. Brad Banks getting a lot of Heisman talk the last couple weeks. His last chance to impress the voters today, gets in for the touchdown. Hawkeyes up by 14 in the second quarter.
Yeah, Iowa's last game of the season before the Bowls is they are finishing up a week earlier, did not have a bye during the season. And boy, Brad Banks is some sort of weapon. Perry trying to get around, and he is corralled around the neck by Sprague originally, then Ryan Aiello gets him, but not before he picked up a first down.
Yeah, Alex Lewis had a shot. He read to counter OH. Now that's when the back and the linemen are pulling around. He shot through there, but he missed the tackle. And Jake Sprague, coming from the backside defensive end, cleared his containment, then has great motor. I mean, he plays fast all the time. Chased Chris Perry down from behind. And speaking of Iowa's rushing offense, real quick points. That offensive lineman deserves some Heisman Trophy look at, because they're just wonderful.
Terrific offensive line, 4 seniors and a junior. Navarre going up top to Bellamy, and that falls incomplete. Covered by B.J. Tucker. He's got 5 interceptions on the season.
Great positioning by B.J. Tucker. Now, John Navarre, not only according to me, but according to the Michigan coaching staff, is the best deep ball thrower of all the Michigan quarterbacks, including Greasy and Gerbach and all those guys. But B.J. Tucker, look, looking lean. Now, you could have called offensive interference right there. See a great job, Bellamy, of turning in to the defensive back. But when you play corner, and you're playing the man-to-man or deep third, you're always deep as the deepest. That time, B.J. Tucker, great position.
But Bellamy did do a good job of defending him, and probably got away with the pass interference call. 2nd and 10. Navarre quickly. Oh, that's batted down at the line of scrimmage by Jonathan Welsh. Here's Matt Weiner.
Pam, the home team has won the game between Kansas State and Nebraska the last 4 times they've met. That's good news for the Wildcats, who are in Manhattan today. El Robeson, the quarterback sneak, and they draw first blood 7-0. Wildcats, meanwhile, NC State trying to end their 2-game losing streak, but trailing Virginia in the second.
Matt, good job on this last play.
Yeah, you see a 3-step drop right there, and Welsh does a good job of using steps on the guy to get an extra spring. Now he's 6'4", with an albatross wingspan. He got that big wing up there and knocked her down. But he got a little leverage by jumping off the offensive tackle.
Welsh, just a sophomore from Houston. Navarre completes it to Joffrey. Good open field tackle. Boy, Joffrey showing his strength. Drag the defender with him.
Dontez Sanders, but you know what Sanders did? Joffrey's a strong guy, but Sanders ran right through that stiff arm. Now, Benny, if you're going to throw that stiff arm, you got to throw it like a jab. You can't put it out there as a push punch. You need to throw that jab out there. Sanders ran right through the jab. Make a good tackle, open field tackle.
And that brings on Adam Finley for his 3rd punt. Last time he punted, Jimmy Leonard took it 39 yards for a touchdown. Leonard back by himself. Again gets it on the run. Leonard, with that full head of steam, is able to take it up to the 46-yard line. Scott McClintock with the tackle, but Leonard showing us why he is the second best punt returner in the Big Ten.
You don't have to accept thinning hair or baldness any longer. There is a solution.
Barry Alvarez in Wisconsin fell behind 14-0, scored though on a Jim Leonard punt return. His punt return has given them pretty good field position this time as they take over just over their own 45-yard line. Trying to get that elusive win, the 7th win that would make them bowl eligible. Bollinger rolling, looking, finding Bernstein, the fullback, freshman from Scarsdale, New York, his 4th catch of the season. Picks up 7. Let's go back to our Aflac trivia question when we asked you, when was the last time 3 teams from the Big Ten finished the season ranked in the top 10? And you have to go way back to 1999, 3 years ago. And Wisconsin finished 4th, Michigan finished 5th, and Michigan State finished 7th. Where's that team from Columbus? You would have thought they would have been in there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, we were robbed. The voters didn't like us.
Anthony Davis slipping another tackle. First down, turns on the Jets. And he is finally tackled at the 21 by Shante Orr.
Yeah, now Cato June had him in his sights. And you better come up and wrap him up because he'll make you miss. He's a little guy, but he runs with power because he has great balance. Bam. Didn't close the gate in front of the ball. Drake doesn't close the gate in front of the ball. Good job by Shante Orr hustling down. You'll see he gets a good block from Bernstein. Missed tackle. And Davis running with something now. See, he missed last week. His backup, he thought he was going to get Wally picked. His backup had 100 yards. Anthony says, no, I'm the guy.
26 on that carry, a 75 on 9 for the game, and breaks away. How did he get out of that pile? He's inside the 10, where it'll be another first down.
I'm going to tell you how he got out, because nobody on the Michigan defensive line is disengaging blocks. They're staying blocked too long. You secure your responsibility, you get off and make a play. Now, they're doing a good job at the point of attack, but everybody's sticking on blocks and nobody's wrapping them up. You see Bernstein right there does a good job of finishing his play, and Anthony Davis is patient, and again almost breaks it all the way. You can't bring him down with arm tackles. You need to put a face mask on him.
Well on his way to another 100-yard game. He's run for 100 yards plus in 15 of 21 career games. Bollinger looking towards the end zone, and he is tackled down around the 3 by John Shaw.
Yeah, you know, I almost find myself holding my breath every time Brooks takes off and runs with that football, because Victor Hobson came off backside pursuit and put a face mask on his helmet. Looked like he hit him head to head.
And Bollinger,
all right, yeah.
and interesting to me, Chris, that Bollinger does not wear that new helmet, the Revolution helmet that is supposed to help prohibit some concussions.
Yeah, I think it deflects some of the blow by the angle of how the helmet is built. Now, you and I had a chance to look at those, and it looks a little funky, but I'll tell you what, safety first, especially for these college guys.
Especially if you have a history of them like Bollinger.
Yes.
2nd and goal. Davis. Lots of pads popping there as he goes down immediately. Shaw again on the tackle. And a lot of those helmets, you don't see a lot of them out here today. They extend a little bit past the jawline, because statistics show, I believe, that like 70% of all concussions occur with hits close to the jawline.
You know, and I never had a concussion because, you know, I had a good helmet, obviously, but I got a rock head. Yeah, I got a rock head. I got 7 and 7/8, so that's a big rock head, a lot of bone in there. So I didn't get hit too hard in the head, or at least I didn't know I had any concussions. I walked to the wrong huddle a couple times. Big down here for Wisconsin. They need to get some points on the board.
3rd and goal from the 2. They give it, trying to go outside with Davis, and he does indeed turn the corner for the touchdown.
Yeah, Bernstein will take you to the ball. This is a fullback-oriented offense, and that means he doesn't get the ball, but he takes you to the ball. Michigan loses contain. And again, offensive coordinator Brian White says, what's one of the strengths of Anthony Davis? Well, it's speed to the corner. And right there, Anthony Davis showed patience, didn't panic. Bernstein lobbed his guy inside. Davis sprints out to the corner and beats the Michigan defense to the pylon.
7th touchdown of the season for Anthony Mike Allen to tie it. And he does. So Wisconsin down 14-0, less than 5 minutes into this game. They get the punt return, and now AD's speed. We're all tied up at 14 in Ann Arbor. Anthony Davis showing no ill effects from being stabbed in his thigh just a couple of weeks ago. Did not play last week, and he has scored to tie this game up at 14 apiece. Jeremy Lesueur gets the kickoff, and he is driven down as a flag flies, driven down at the 27-yard line. Elliott Good with the good tackle.
There's some popping going on both sides down there. A lot of good hits. See this Michigan crowd sitting in their hands.
Michigan will be pushed back. Let's go down to Rob Stone.
Yeah, you guys want proof of good hitting? How about this? Wisconsin has already gone through 2 face masks. They pitched these. I did some dumpster diving to pull these out of the garbage can. But if you take a look at this side, there's a big dent, and it's pushed way back. There's at least 2 in the garbage can, and there's another one waiting to get fixed at halftime. So there is some heavy hitting in the trenches today.
Well, you know what? It's a bad batch. They got a bad batch of face masks. They shouldn't do that.
As you say, it's unusual, Chris, isn't it? There's a new helmet there that you see Dante Sanders wearing with that new helmet that is supposed to help prohibit and prevent concussions.
See those 3 holes right there. 1, 2, 3. Those 3 holes right there. You could tell that's the new helmet. It's a little bit bigger, almost somewhat of a Great Gazoo from the Flintstones type helmet, but not quite as big.
And you see it does extend closer and past the jawline where the face mask picks up. Not the prettiest helmet on earth, but if it's effective,
you know what?
I'd wear one.
I think it should be a law in college football. Probably will be that all guys will be wearing that pretty soon.
This should be safety first. Chris Perry is the guy in the backfield, but they go to Japru, the tight end, picks up. That's his 4th catch. We got more football coming your way on ABC. How about Ohio State and Illinois from Champaign? Regional action. Others will see Texas and Texas Tech, North Carolina and Florida State, Washington, Oregon, the other choice. Check your local listings or ESPN.com keyword ABC Sports for the game you will see. ABC Sports, the class of college football. And Ohio State, Chris, you've talked about this all year. Different team at home and on the road.
Yeah, they are, but they find a way to get it done on the road. I think they're averaging 38 points at home and 19 on the road. And Illinois, a much improved football team than we saw them early in the year against Southern Miss.
Navarre gets hit. That is incomplete. We complete one to Matt Weiner.
Hi, Pat. Thank you very much. Back to that Purdue-Michigan State game. The Boilers having all sorts of trouble holding on to the football. They fumbled at the goal line, and then this. Brandon Kirsch right to Demario Suggs. He'll turn it around for 46 yards. Purdue has gotten that 7 back. It's now 17-14.
All right, Matt, Michigan State coming into this game at 4-6, and they're still talking, maybe holding out hopes of finishing the season at 6-6 would be nothing short of miraculous. Of course, they'd have to win the day and then win at Penn State next week. Perry, first down as he takes it up to the 36-yard line. Erasmus James making the stop.
One thing about Chris Perry, you know, he's kind of a no-nonsense type runner, what I like to call him. He's going to make one cut, and he usually makes the right cut. Now, there's a lot of running backs that make one cut and hit it, but they don't hit the right hole. Chris Perry will make one cut and hit the hole. Right here, you'll see Erasmus James coming off and making a play on Chris Perry. Erasmus did his job, kept contained, then came back and made a play. That's a good job of disengaging the blocker.
He's taking this play off as Navarre with time, and he throws that one perfectly to Ronald Bellamy. Threw it before he made his break. 16 yards and another first down.
Again, that was kind of a waggle throwback, and you saw it all the way. And Watkins, the linebacker who picked off Navarre earlier, had great coverage, and he tells me he's well coached because he ran right to where Bellamy was running the route. But Navarre, when you throw strikes like that, that's difficult to cover because it's about 17 yards downfield. Watkins, coming from the linebacker, has trouble getting that kind of depth.
2 catches on the day for Bellamy, career high 34 catches this year for the senior, playing in his final game in the big house. Perry sidesteps through a hole nicely. Scott Starks makes the tackle, but 6 more yards for Perry, who's over 80 yards on the afternoon.
Chris Perry is the guy that Michigan needs to be effective. They're most effective. There comes Sanderson now. He's a 290-pound fullback that has a chance, Pam. Coach Terry Maloney, offensive coordinator, said to be one of the best athletes on this Michigan team. Only a freshman now. He has good hands for that kind of size.
I'd like to get him down to about 270. He's 290, and coaches said that might be not accurate. Perry going to be about 1.5 yards short of the first down after that carry.
I'm going to tell you why, because if you see that play right there, he's coming out of the game because he missed his block on Watkins. Now, if he's 270, he'd have the quickness to make the block on Watkins, who goes about 215. But at 290, he's a little bit slow in positioning of his feet and hands. Watkins beats him underneath. Sanderson held him, but Watkins still made a very nice play, being a freshman linebacker for Wisconsin.
The coaches have told Sanderson, if you get down to 270, maybe we'll give you a carry. He has 0 carries on the season. He's the big blocking guy. 3rd and 1. Perry. Boy, he is short as that Wisconsin defense stacked him up. Kyle McCorson. And the crowd yells go.
Yeah, penetration, too, killed that play. The defensive tackle's got good penetration. Sprague coming from the outside gets penetration. Alex Lewis. Wisconsin now is not playing too nice. They started the game too nice. Now they're playing football how you need to play football on the road in the Big Ten.
Chris, they're about 1/2 yard short, maybe a little less of this first down. And Adam Finley comes out amidst a rain of boos from this crowd.
Yeah, you know, usually I'm a proponent for going for it on 4th down, but here I agree with the call. You want to win the field position battle. You got 1:16 to go. You don't want to give a chance for Wisconsin to get into the game or ahead going into the half. They've already got momentum on their side. You want to stop their momentum by pinning them back.
And there is that danger as flags come down before Adam Finley is able to punt the ball away.
Prior to the snap, delay a game, offense. 5-yard penalty. Clock will start on the snap.
I'll show you another danger. And why they might, right here. See, he's got danger written all over him.
Leonard with a punt return, 39 yards for a touchdown. His other 2 going for 10 and 19 today.
Yeah, you might want to think about kicking this one out of bounds or angle kicking. Don't give him an opportunity.
Finley kicking it short. It hit him on the foot. Leonard with the fair catch signal. It hit him on the foot.
Well, they got the halo rule violation, and again, Shazor does a good job of covering. It's a short kick. He sees Leonard coming. He has to stop or try to get out of the way. Leonard's running to Shazor, so Leonard's the guy that's causing the penalty to happen.
It is that halo rule.
Yeah.
Again, you have to give him a 2-yard cushion all the way around.
And we talked to Lloyd about that yesterday in our meeting, and he said that he's on the rules committee. That is the most
Violation of the 2-yard belt on the kicking team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
There's going to be adjustment to that rule. He said that's the most discussed topic in the rules committee meetings. Right here, Shazor does a good job. He's trying to get out of the way. Leonard's running to him. There's no way you have no advantage at all. In fact, it's dangerous for the cover man because he has to stop and he can get KO'd because he's stopping his feet.
Davis not stopping his feet, picks up 9. Let's take it back to Matt Weiner. What's coming up in the half?
Hi, Pam. Coming up on the Saturn halftime report, Iowa tries to complete their first unbeaten Big Ten season in 80 years and claim the coveted Floyd of Rosedale. Big showdown in the Big 12 between Nebraska and Kansas State. Plus, Wolfpack and the Wahoos. NC State trying to get that elusive 10th win. Mark May and I coming up at the half.
Thank you, Matt. A lot of people interested, obviously, in what I was doing. Davis is cut down by Scott McClintock. More college football coming your way. It is ESPN's College Football Saturday, presented by the U.S. Postal Service. Doubleheader stuff. We got South Carolina and Florida at 6 Eastern time. Follow that up at 9 Eastern. Alabama taking on LSU. For more on upcoming games, log on to ESPN.com. Keyword schedule.
Oh, man. I'm pretending to be a Kentucky fan, and I'm getting sick every time I see that. It's just amazing, that play. That's college football, and that's why college football is king, because the game is never over. Never over.
Michigan calls a timeout with 24 seconds left to go, and it was amazing. The Kentucky, it would have been one of the biggest wins that program has had in a long time, and bat the ball down.
Yeah, bat the ball down, and I'm sitting here in the big house reminded of when Cordell Stewart threw the long one here. He threw that one about 75 in the air, and just a tough way to lose. Celebration was early. It was just, oh my goodness, it's the worst possible thing that could happen. But hey, they learned a lesson. And what I would do, Pam, in that situation, I'd put 3 guys, I'd line them up on the goal line. Don't even go up for the ball. Stay on the goal line and protect the goal line.
Keep a guy deep so if somebody gets there,
you're
they can
always
tackle
a guy
and do
deep,
something.
and you only have a couple guys designated to jump for a Hail Mary. A lot of times you'll see teams put their wide receivers, for example, When I was with the Lions, we had Herman Moore from Virginia, who was a 7-foot high jumper too, and at 6'5". Herman was our designated jumper. Everybody else would play behind Herman. And if somebody did catch the ball, you tackle them right there. Let them catch it if they need to, especially on the last play of the game.
Just a miraculous play for LSU. Good to see them later on tonight against Alabama, a team that is ineligible for the bowls because of their probation. 3rd and 1, so Michigan calls the timeout with 24 seconds left.
Now, Coach Bill Curry told me the Tide doesn't lose in Baton Rouge. We'll have to see, Coach.
That's right. See it tonight on ESPN. 3rd and 1, Davis breaks another tackle and picks up the first down. Boy, Carl Diggs had him behind the line of scrimmage, but Davis got the first down. Here's Rob Stone.
Here you go. One of the things that makes Allen Johnson a #1 draft pick in the NFL is his ability to pull. And he has tremendous ability. Not a lot of centers in college football can pull. This guy can get it done. Plus, he plays with a mean, nasty streak. See him, he's getting penetration. He's always moving his feet. And right here, he's out there pulling, hooking his guy, using his body in position. An outstanding job. He is a #1 center from a lot of scouts' opinions in the league to be drafted in the 1st round. Great player.
Bollinger.
Get out of bounds.
Taken off on his own, does get out of bounds. That will stop the clock with 11 seconds left to go. He's about 3 yards short of the first down as some snow flurries begin to fall here in Ann Arbor. And Al Johnson, Brian White, the offensive coordinator, said he's the conductor of this team. He's got a lot of personality. It spreads to everybody else. He has one of those newfangled helmets on, by the way.
Well, when you're a center, you're taking a lot of shots from all different kind of angles. That's a smart thing. Now, that was a good play. Now, Wisconsin's at the 50-yard line. They got 11 seconds here. Now, the wind's into their face, so it'll be tough for them to get field position, but they can take a shot at the end zone.
Mike Allen, their field goal kicker, has a career-long 50-yarder, by the way. Bollinger stepping into it. Nice catch. It was bobbled initially, but Darren Charles gathered it in as Wisconsin gets it down to the 35. Big 15-yard gain.
A nice throw by Bollinger, too, coming to his 3rd option. Darren Charles working away from the trip side. Comes in. You see him working downfield. Now he's going to set it down. He sees the zone. He's going to set it down on the zone. That's it. Bring the ball in, catch it. Now you got a chance. Now you're working from 35 yards as opposed to 50 to at least throw one up when a 6'6" receiver, Darren Charles, can go up and win jump balls down there in the end zone.
Now Wisconsin takes the timeout with 4 seconds left, and they have the ball on the 35. We want to welcome the Seabees and their can-do spirit assigned to Keflavik in Iceland. That's their public works department there. We're watching this telecast on the American Forces Network. Thanks for all that you do. And we're thinking that Iceland might be a tad warmer than Ann Arbor today.
Yeah.
Or at least close.
Now, keep it up there, guys. Thank you. And Greenland's one that's ice, and Iceland is green. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right, okay.
They're misnomers.
Yes.
Absolutely. Iceland's nice and toasty and green, and Greenland's icy. Not so toasty. Mike Allen, by the way, if he were to kick a field goal now, it would be a 52-yard attempt.
Yeah, I don't think there's with this wind, Pam, there's no chance. Yeah.
He had a career-long of 50 last year against Fresno State, had a 48-yarder this year earlier against Penn State. There is Scott Campbell, the guy who punts for them as well. When he was at the Georgia Military Academy, from whence he transferred, he had 3 50-yarders plus, so maybe an option for Barry Alvarez to go to him, but right now with 4 seconds left, they're not even thinking about field goals.
Well, that guy's thinking about, man, it's cold because there's a big wind, too. Now look how Michigan's lined up here. They got 3 guys on the goal line, defending the goal line.
That's the call you like. Bollinger rolling right, looking, throws up the jump ball. He's got Orr, and it is incomplete. Boy, Orr and Charles were right down there. And it falls incomplete, and with that, the half comes to a close.
We'll see right here. Now, this is why the first play before this set them up. It gave them a chance to throw the jump ball up here, and you see about 19 hands going up for there. Now, Orr has it for a second. They got a chance. Charles has it for a second, but Michigan does not quit, knocks the ball out of there.
Charles Drake among those getting a paw in. Credit to Wisconsin, down 14-0 early. They have tied this game at the half. Let's take you back to Matt Weiner.
Hi, Pam. The Badgers fighting for their bowl lives right now. Remember, after that 5-0 start, this team is now just 6-5 on the year, and they're tied at the half 14-all. Welcome.
Welcome back to Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. At halftime, Michigan and Wisconsin tied up at 14 apiece. Just getting started with the third quarter. Pam Ward, Chris Spielman, and Rob Stone joining you. And Jim Leonard He's the guy who really turned this puppy around. A 39-yard punt return in the last minute and a half of the first quarter cut Michigan's lead to 14-7. Wisconsin getting the equalizer in the second quarter, and that is where we stand. And the Badgers get the ball first. Brandon Williams, about 3 yards deep, decides to take it out. And he pays for it as he is staggered down at the 13 by Pierre Woods. Let's take a look now at our ESPN2 game track, brought to you by 1-800-CALL-ATT. Michigan with costly mistakes. John Navarre, only his 5th interception of the year, and that stalled the drive. And then up at a fumble here, B.J. Askew coughing it up. And Anthony Davis, 85 of his 106 yards coming in the second quarter. That's when he scored that touchdown. And we are standing at 14 apiece.
Yeah, Jimmy Leonard also set up the Wisconsin second touchdown with a fine punt return. So Michigan needs to work out their punting woes.
Some problems on special teams. Davis, nothing doing. Victor Hobson and Grant Bowman coming up to make the stop. And in the first half of this game, Hobson got his 250th career tackle. He's building on that. Let's go to Rob Stone.
Well, Pam had a chance to speak with both head coaches. Begin with on the Wisconsin side, Barry Alvarez. Very pleased with the way his team kind of settled down after falling into that early hole. Loved the subtle defensive adjustments his team made, settling them down, and said, hey, man, we got to keep riding Anthony Davis. As far as Lloyd Card on Michigan's side, mainly it's just, hey, take better care of the ball. Whether it's punting problems or turnovers, we have got to maintain better possession.
Thank you, Rob. Anthony Davis had a fumble in his first carry and has been golden ever since. Bollinger won't go down, and boy, does he take a pop from Hobson.
Yeah, but Brooks can take the shots to the body. Now, again, a good decision. And why is it a good decision? Because he's able to go through his options downfield on who to throw the football. Everybody's covered. You see, he gets his feet set. He's looking. Nope, I see a big hole, though, and I do have the ability to run. He makes a nice cut right there, and he takes a shot into the body. This is a good hit by Victor Hobson. See that? Close the gate in front of the ball. Victor, good person right there. Didn't get it, and Brooks didn't take it to the head, though, so he's okay.
Good look there at Hobson. Again, his 250th career tackle coming up earlier in this game. He is a senior, one of 18 Michigan seniors playing today, and they did get the first down just by the skin of their teeth. And even though Bollinger didn't take that hit directly on the head, you did see his head snap.
Yeah, and again, you know what, though, too, and I put a lot of faith in college doctors, because I know, and pro doctors, because I know morally that they put the athlete's health at first. They would never put a kid out there if they felt he was at any extra risk.
And that is what Brooks said before this game, along with his dad, Rob, who used to be a football coach himself. He was a coordinator at the University of North Dakota, where Brooks grew up. They said they have total faith in Wisconsin, and that their kid would not be out there if he wasn't suited for it. 1st and 10 on that run from Bollinger. Davis, nice up the middle. Picks up about 7. Joey Sorrento's coming up to make the stop. So Davis, who has gone over 100 yards for the 16th time in his career, did that in the first half, picks up 7 more.
Let me tell you what's happening now. Michigan is not meeting Davis on those straight ahead hits. Not anything pulling, no pulling lineman, but lineman coming off. They're not getting a hand on Davis till he's 3 yards off past the line of scrimmage. They're getting to the second level. Sorrento's made a nice tackle, but he's got to step up and make the tackle where it means something for a 1 or 2 yard gain, not a 7 or 8 yard gain when the ball's run right at you.
That was a 7-yard gain. 2nd and 3, flags down as Davis gets cut down at the line of scrimmage by Hobson.
Yeah, Hobson put a slobber knocker on him.
That's a hard hit.
That's a hard hit, yes.
Remember, Davis is playing. We got that left thigh, a stab wound from a couple of weeks ago. You think it would hurt him when he got hit there. A little procedure call against the Wolverines. Now, if you're a defensive player and you know that Anthony Davis was stabbed in his left thigh, you go for his left thigh?
I don't know if you go for it on purpose, but obviously you're going to hit a running back anytime you can. And a lot of times Anthony Davis will take shots to his legs, but it's tough because he knows how to protect himself. You see right there, Victor Hobson and Cato June coming up and making a play. But I think that more or less is in the pros. And let me
penalty remains, 2nd down.
Let me tell you why in the pros, because offensive linemen and defensive linemen will get injuries of each other because they work on pass rush moves. And a guy has an elbow, Pam, they'll work on that elbow. And that's why guys, offensive and defensive linemen in the NFL panic when their injuries are listed in the paper. Oh my gosh, my opponent's going to read this, he's going to work on it.
Because that's something that obviously would be discussed among the team to know where a guy is hurt. 2nd and 8. Bollinger over the middle. Brandon Williams, who has been his short guy today, up close to the first down marker. Appears he has it.
Yeah, Brandon Williams did a good job of not falling down. He took a big shot in the first half by a linebacker, McClintock from Michigan. He caught the next pass. As soon as he caught it, he fell to his feet. That time he kept his feet and transitioned from the catch to the run quickly and made positive yardage.
Brandon Williams has done a good job. True freshman, second on the team behind redshirt freshman Jonathan Orr. He has 3 catches today. Right back to Davis. Does a little dance and doesn't get much. Norman Hoyer clogging up the middle.
A good play by Norman right there. He's on his knees and he dives in front and gets in the hole. They try to run the lead draw, but they didn't move Hoyer. Hoyer did a good job of getting in there, closing the hole down, nowhere to run.
18 career starts for Norman, but he's been coming off the bench this season and gets a break after making that stop. No gain on that last carry. 3 receivers in. Bollinger going left, running all the way, and will only pick up a couple. Cato June, the senior from Washington, D.C., making the stop. June has been hampered by injury. Michigan, actually, this whole defense, Chris, they too deep from when the season started. They have had 10 players miss time because of injury on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, especially they've been hurt in the secondary, but I'm going to tell you what, right there, what Michigan noticed. Jimmy Herman's a smart guy, the defensive coordinator, saw that Wisconsin was in that 3 wide receiver shotgun set. Their whole defense started yelling option, option, option. Now they're in a dime.
2 receivers to Bollinger's left, looking to the other side, and that is incomplete. Boy, Marcus Curry was right in front of David Braun, and Braun actually made a good play to knock it away.
Yeah, great point, Pam. David Braun did make a great play. Marcus Curry had a great break on the ball, and he broke underneath the wide receiver. This ball was floated a little bit, and Marcus Curry does a good job of getting his hands. Got away with a little hold. They'll let him tag, but he does a good job. Now he's got to bring that in. But Braun does a good job of turning into the defensive back. But great angle by Marcus Curry.
Braun, the senior from Madison, Wisconsin, just 9 catches on the season, making a good defensive play. R.J. Morris, boy, barely gets it off, and he was run into. Penalty coming up against Pierre Woods for running into him. Meanwhile, on the return, it's Jermaine Gonzalez. But that's going to come back.
Now, see, Pierre Woods got to make a decision. You're either going to go get it or you're not going to get it.
Pierre does have a blocked kick already this season, but that time he got the punter.
See, now Pierre does a great job of getting penetration. Now either lay out or don't lay out, but don't come in half between.
Penalty is running into the kicker on the defense.
See, Pierre beating him on the outside, didn't even have to go in there. Now if you sell out, you can go get it.
And he gets R.J. Morris, 6'1", 256 pounds, a punter, going down. So Wisconsin gets the break on the penalty. We are tied up here in Michigan.
Dave.
Wisconsin declining that penalty would have only been 5 yards, so it would have been 3rd and 3. They take the punt of the penalty, a 41-yard net. Michigan gets the football, and it's Chris Perry, and he is knocked down after about a gain of 3. Pam Moore and Chris Spielman with you here in Ann Arbor. And Chris, Michigan got off to that 14-0 lead, but since then their offense has been a little stingy.
Yeah, they need to come out this offensive possession right here and reestablish the line of scrimmage. And John Navarre, they need to get him off early to get his confidence back. By the way, you warm enough?
Yeah,
you got enough clothes on?
There's snow coming in, man. Come on, it's November.
Good, take a tough pill. You'll be all right.
Do you have any? John Navarre, he's a guy who's taken a tough pill. He's thrown the interception. Braylon Edwards has no catches so far, one of his weapons.
They got to get him into the ball game because he can do some damage once he catches the football.
So let's see if indeed Edwards is the target. Not this time. Jopru, always the go-to guy, and the big tight end gets a first down, and we visit Matt Weiner. Matt.
Hi, Pam. Under Bill Snyder, this is the first time Kansas State has met Nebraska where they were the higher-ranked team. And let's play them like it right now. How about Marcus Patton with the blocked punt? Jared Johnson hops on in the end zone. The Wildcats up 21-3 in the second quarter.
Boy, things just aren't the same for that Nebraska Cornhusker team, really struggling on the road.
You know, I like what Michigan did right there, Pam. They come in and get Benny Jopru back in the ball game because that's, I believe, Navarre's most guy that he feels confident going to. He's going to him again.
That's 6 catches now for Benny on the day as he stretches forward to get an extra 6 inches or so. That's a gain of 5.
He's looking right at him. Now what they do to let him work in spaces, they'll split him out a little bit. He's got a nice little split right there, and he just goes and sits down. Now see, it's his zone. He understands it's his zone. He sits down, and Jimmy Leonard has a hard time of bringing him down. Before, see, he's had a nice little split right there, and he's going to go find an open area and just sit there, knowing that John Navarre wants to get on track again. Then he'll start throwing the ball downfield, but he establishes his confidence and his rhythm by throwing to his fine tight end, Benny Joffrey.
Joffrey going out with a bang as he has career highs in catches this year. Perry, oh man, he was just stacked up. Jake Sprague, hello.
Yeah, Jake gave him involuntary back bend. that was a nice chiropractic adjustment by Jake Sprague now, because this guy, like I said, plays with a high motor. He'd come down the line of scrimmage and bam. And when you see that head flap back like that, that's a nice job. And Jake Sprague's an active football player. He's making plays all over the field. Beats his blocker, comes in and delivers the head, and then does a good job of finishing, close the gate in front of the ball, and keeping his feet and running through the ball carrier.
All that in one play from Sprague, who is a senior. Now on third down, Navarre. A little bit of pressure. There's Braylon Edwards' first catch. And it is for a first down. Just enough for that first down. And with that catch, that's Braylon's 50th of the season. He is the second sophomore in Michigan history with 50 catches in one season. Your old buddy Anthony Carter had 51 back in 1980.
AC was just a tremendous player. But right there, what they did was Joffrey was kind of a screen guy. Braylon ran right in front of Benny Joffrey, the tight end, who drawed all kind of defenders, leaving Braylon Edwards on a crossing route open. John delivered the football where it needed to be thrown.
And that was a 6-yard gain. Number 50 on the year for Braylon. Quick throw for the Bellamy, and he had to go down on one knee. So, yep, he is down right away. They'll lose a yard. This is Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. Pam Ward, Chris Spielman, and Rob Stone, who is down on the field amidst about 105,000 folks or so, bringing you this game. Michigan coming in at 2 straight wins, as they are 8-2 on the season, 5-1 in the Big Ten, getting ready for that tilt next week in Columbus. Total yards, Michigan leading in that category, but boy, Wisconsin, give them all the credit in the world. They were down 14-0 in this game and came back to tie it up. Down 14-0, not even 5 minutes into the game, as a matter of fact. Navarre, Askew, connection, close to a first down, just a little bit short. Meantime, let's go back to Matt Weiner.
All right, Pam, check in on the SEC. Tennessee on the road without their starting quarterback, Casey Clausen, out with a right ankle injury. Still up 14-0, but Mississippi State back into it. Kevin Fant to Donald Lee cuts the lead in half.
Kevin Fant looks like he was been banged up a little bit in that game so far for Mississippi State, playing down in Starkville. Here in Ann Arbor, 3rd and 1 for the Wolverines. Navarre is 5 for 5 through the air this half, and that time he stretches that long 6'6" body to get the first down.
That's a good call, safe call, and when you do, you hit it right on the head, Pam. When you're 6'6", that's a good call, and you're normally going to get the first down.
6'6", 230, so he's a big guy as well. NFL football coming your way tomorrow night at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. It's the Patriots and the Raiders. Coverage begins with NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite at 7:30 Eastern. ESPN Deportes has it as well. ESPN and ABC, your exclusive home for primetime football.
I think our boy Kenny Mayne's doing a special on the Raider fans out there.
I think he would fit in well with those guys. I could see Kenny painting his face, among other things. 1st and 10, Askew keeps his legs going and picks up only a couple. Jim Leonard making the stop.
Now, this is taking too long for this type of play to develop when you're playing this type of defensive line that can get pressure. Because what's happening before the Michigan poolers can get any speed build up to get some collision speed to knock people off, Wisconsin's meeting the poolers in the backfield as opposed to the poolers or the linemen meeting Wisconsin at the point of attack. They're initiating the contact up front, not Michigan.
Michigan 9th in the Big Ten in rushing offense so far this season, averaging about 149 yards a game. As Perry, his turn, he'll get around the corner and run for the first down. Knocked out right at the first down marker. Lamar Watkins in hot pursuit.
Now, this was a misdiagnosed play right here, and I'm going to tell you why. It's a bad play by Michigan offensive lineman Chris Perry. He goes the wrong way. He's not supposed to pull there. See, he's blocking there. But Chris Perry recognized that and he says, you know what, Chris, I got great speed. I'll outrun Watkins to the corner, and he did. That's a great job of awareness of Chris Perry. The offensive lineman pulled, wasn't supposed to pull, was supposed to fire out.
And that lineman was, yep, Petrozzullo, a senior from Mentor, Ohio, another Ohio guy who's come up north to Michigan. It worked out because they got the first down. Askew, not much happening on the left side of the line. Jim Leonard again coming up to make the stop. He's a tough kid, 5'8" and 180, and he meets Askew.
You know, Jimmy's mom and dad are smiling because they don't have them college bills to pay for after this year. He's earned his scholarship.
Oh, big time.
And he's earned it today with his punt returns and his fumble recovery, and plus he's making a ton of tackles. But that's what the safety does, the 8th man in the box. That's why you want to have a good football player there, because often he's the on-block player, and he has to make the tackle if you play an 8-man front.
And he also leads the Big Ten in passes broken up, even more so than Marlon Jackson, the very talented guy for this Michigan football club. Navarre over the middle, again for Joffrey, who's been by far his favorite target today.
And they brought in a nickel package. They brought Sanders, Dontez Sanders in, an extra DB. But the problem when you put a DB on a tight end, he can run with him, but he can't match up physically with him right there. Benny just pushed him upfield and did a nice job being a veteran that he is, kind of pushed him off on the option route. And John Navarre delivered the ball on time.
You see Benny is just 5 catches away from tying the tight end record with 50 catches for a career. He has the rest of today and next week against Ohio State. Benny has 7 catches today. That is a career high for one game. Ties it. He's done it 2 other times this season.
He does a good job of catching the ball with his hands. He doesn't chest it.
Michigan decides to take a timeout. 4:14 left to go in the third in a tie ball game.
ESPN2's presentation of college football brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Let's look at the nice glass in the windows at the Law Research building here in the campus of the University of Michigan. Beautiful, beautiful buildings here. One of the nicer ones. And we are in an old building ourselves at Michigan Stadium. Big third down now, as Askew gets the first down, takes a couple of guys with him down to the 15. That's a 9-yard gain. Here's Rob Stone.
Last year, that guy, B.J. Askew, was a tailback who was miserable because he felt he deserved some more carries. In the spring, Lloyd Carr told him, hey, this could be a really good team if he played fullback. Askew accepted the role, and after spring drills, he stood before the team and said to him, hey, I let this team down a year ago. I was selfish. Now I'll do everything our coaches asked me. And the captain has lived up to his words. And the bonus, he still gets a few carries at tailback like that one.
Yeah, he's also their signal back when they go one-back formation. He's a very good football player. Does a lot of things well. Runs, blocks, catches the football out of the backfield.
Perry, the other tailback, gets that carry, picks up a couple, and really Lloyd Carr was talking about how he came in, and what a statement. You go in front of your whole team, Chris, and you say, look, guys, I screwed up last year. I didn't do what I should have done, and he has come through like a champ in his senior season. Let's go to Matt Weiner.
All right, Pat, BC and Syracuse fighting for bowl survival, potentially. BC's just trying to get their first Big East win. Derek Knight busts through, 5 yards out. BC now up 20-13 in the third.
Here it's 2nd and 7 for Michigan. 3 receivers in for Navarre. That's Braylon Edwards who catches it. About 3 yards short of the first down at the 13. Scott Starks with his 5th tackle unofficially.
Now here's what happens. John Navarre worked Benny Joffrey early in the drive. What that does now, it occupies linebackers and safeties. So who's opened up? The edge players, Braylon Edwards and Bellamy.
Edwards, boy, talented wide receiver for this football team. Now over 50 yards, or 50 catches on the season, 9 touchdown receptions, leading the team. 3rd and 3. A drive that started way back on Michigan's own 22-yard line. Now on the 8. Navarre looking for Edwards, who gets it into the end zone for the touchdown. And that Michigan offense you talked about, Chris, needing a good offensive drive. This is their first drive of the second half, and they take it 78 yards.
Well, they did a great job. What they did, they ran with a bunch route. And Braylon Edwards is going to come. It's a 3-receiver side. Braylon Edwards comes and sits down in between defenders. And a great awareness of getting that ball across the line of scrimmage with a big reach.
That is his 10th touchdown catch of the season. Adam Finley adds the extra point. And Michigan, a very impressive drive to open up this second half. Braylon Edwards goes to the final 8. And the lead is now 7. Michigan has just had a season-best 16-play drive, chewed up 78 yards in 8 minutes and 43 seconds, capped by Braylon Edwards' 8-yard touchdown catch. There's Braylon. John Navarre found him. It is now 21-14 Michigan. Brandon Williams gets the kickoff and doesn't go much further as he is knocked down at the 24. This is the big house, and it seats a lot of people, about 107,000 plus seats, but they pack in 110,000 plus per game. 110,412 today, a new NCAA record, 773,000 plus in 7 home games. Breaks the record Michigan set in 1997 when they're about 745,000 plus.
It's a strong statement for the University of Michigan, a tradition and the following that it has. Outstanding. It's great for college football.
Boy, do they pack them in here too. You see some of the Wisconsin fans who've made the trip. That's an average of over 110,500 per game, by the way, on average. Some teams don't get that in a season. Scott McClintock, Carl Diggs closing in on Anthony Davis. Davis has over 100 yards this afternoon. So too does Chris Perry in that last drive. Went over the 100-yard mark for the 4th time in his career.
Well, McClintock, the linebacker, did a great job right there. He actually tackled Anthony Davis with Jason Jowers, the offensive lineman, by pushing Jason Jowers into Anthony Davis. That's a great job of filling the hole.
Any way you can, huh? 2nd and 6. Bollinger rolling out, and he is forced to throw that away as he was pressured by Larry Stevens. Coming up tonight, ESPN's College Football Saturday, presented by the U.S. Postal Service, has an SEC doubleheader. We'll start you off with South Carolina and Florida at 6 Eastern, followed up at 9 Eastern by Alabama at LSU. Baton Rouge, what a great place to be on a Saturday night. For more on upcoming games, log on to ESPN.com, keyword schedule. South Carolina, of course, Lou Holtz, his team, 3 straight losses, 500 ball club, says he will be back next year.
Anytime you're playing number 8 down there and he has a blue jersey with an alligator on his helmet, they worried me. He's still a great player. What a play right there.
Bollinger just gets sandwiched. Victor Hobson among the Wolverines making the play. 3rd sack on Bollinger today.
What happens is Anthony Davis is assigned to pick up Victor Hobson. Now, Anthony Davis isn't the taller guy. You'll see Victor Hobson right here come, and he does a little jump. Get up in the air, Victor. And finishes the play. That's a great athletic play, great awareness. Anthony, you got to hit him high. I know he's a big fella, but hit him high to slow him down. Great job, Victor.
Hoyer was there as well. 4th sack of the year for Hobson, and boy, Morse just got that punt off. It's bounced to Gonzalez. And Jermaine gets it into Wisconsin territory. We take it back now to Matt Weiner.
And North Carolina State hasn't lost 3 in a row since 1997, but they are trailing at Virginia right now. Matt Shaw to Patrick Estes, padding their lead. Wahoo's up 14-3. 5 minutes and change left in the 3rd quarter.
That boy, Virginia, dangerous football team being assembled. A lot of young freshmen on that football club.
Yeah, you're right. And had a great recruiting class. It's led by that Shaw, the quarterback, who does a great job. Al Grove, former New York Jet head coach, doing an awesome job down there.
You see the sacks. Hobson with one of the 3 for Michigan. Again, Wisconsin has given up the most sacks in the Big Ten, now 44 and counting on the season. Perry gets away from a would-be tackler. Lewis tried to arm tackle, and he picked up a couple more.
You got to come up and hit people. You can't arm tackle Michigan backs, not with the size of Chris Perry at 235 or B.J. Askew. Alex Lewis was the free player. Why? Because they pinched the whole defensive line, taking the blockers inside, leaving Alex Lewis free to run. Now, if you're a free football player, then you come and make the tackle. Now, he's done a good job today, but that time you have a chance to make a shot in the backfield. You take it.
See, he had a career-high 13 tackles in the win last week against Illinois. And so far today, Alex has 6 tackles. So that is the end of the third quarter. Just one score, and that was Braylon Edwards collecting an 8-yard touchdown pass from John Navarre. Navarre 8 for 8 on that drive with this touchdown. Michigan up 21-14. Welcome back to Ann Arbor, Michigan. Some snow flurries in the air as Michigan leads 21-14, trying to add on to this lead. Navarre with time, gets it. Good catch, Edwards. Went up, brought it down. First down, Wolverines. Here's Matt Weiner.
Pam, the Golden Gophers of Minnesota will not go away. They want that bronze pick, too. Hassan Abdul-Khalik running the option. He'll go ahead and keep it, gets himself in the end zone. Gophers back within 2 touchdowns, 35-21.
Thank you, Matt. Iowa obviously wants to remain unbeaten in the Big Ten. Passing yards squarely in favor of the University of Michigan. More than doubling what Wisconsin's done.
Yeah, they're starting to open it up, too, a little bit, getting the ball downfield little by little.
Navarre gets hit as he throws, and that's his second interception of the game. Scott Starks gets it, and he returns it past the 40-yard line. Navarre had 4 interceptions on the season coming into this game. He has 2 today. Wisconsin snuffing out that drive. The Badgers have the ball in good field position when we return. 2 of John Navarre's 6 interceptions have come in this game against Wisconsin. The latest nabbed by Scott Starks. And Wisconsin gets it on the 41-yard line, only down a touchdown. Bollinger trying to take advantage. He's already been sacked 3 times today. And that time he is enveloped. Shante Orr and Sean Lazarus each with a sack today, and on that tackle he picked up 6. Go back to that interception.
Yeah, let me show you what happened right here. You'll see Scotty Starks. Now he's going to end up playing sort of like a center field right here. He sees Bellamy coming. He's going to run it out. He knows this guy's taken care of. Once he sees that he's taken care of, he's going to drift back to the post to help his other safety, Leonard, and steps in front of the ball. John Navarre never sees him. That's a great job of playing center field by Scotty Starks, and it was team coverage because the underneath coverage took away Bellamy on a short one. He drifted to the deep one to help out.
Davis jitterbugging and juking into Michigan territory for a first down. Here's Matt Weiner.
Pam, Syracuse and Boston College, pretty good game. Back and forth, they keep going.
They give it to Reyes.
Walter Reyes, 9 yards for the touchdown. That tied things up to 20, but not for long because BC gets back in the end zone. Brian St. Pierre, Sean Ryan, 27-20. Eagles up, still time left in the third.
Wow, still plenty of time left in that one. Of course, Syracuse playing that exciting multiple overtime game against Virginia Tech a couple weeks ago, maybe headed for another one. A couple of tight ends in now for Wisconsin. 1st and 10 after Davis's carry. And the flag comes down. That's a procedure penalty coming up against Wisconsin.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
Brandon White, young receiver, freshman, got a little anxious. Usually when you make a penalty and you're a freshman, you know where you end up?
Right back.
Right there saying, what'd you do? Why'd you do that? So watch Brandon. He's going to get excited here. Let's check. Am I on the sides? Am I on side? Oh, hey, wait. You can't seem late going toward the start of a play or going to the line of scrimmage. Right there was the call. Line up. He's saying, just line up.
Brandon is a true freshman. You saw Marlon Jackson as only a sophomore pointing at him correctly with the call. So 1st and 15. Bollinger taking it again, going head first into the mire. Victor Hobson making the stop.
Well, this is a quarterback draw, and it's a bad read by Michigan linebackers. Why? Because you'll see these guys set short. Then they're going to start getting downfield. See the offensive lineman going downfield? There's nobody within reading that. Now, Sorrento's does a good job of coming up, but Diggs is still back there getting blocked. You got to recognize a short set by the offensive line. That tells me 2 things: screen or draw. If it's a deep soft set, it's pass. A short, quick step, screen or draw. You got to see that transition and play run if you're a linebacker.
Well, you can see Dan Benning, who was way out in front of him on that replay. 2nd and 3. Anthony Davis That's another first down for Wisconsin. Picked up 5 more. Now Wisconsin has forced 3 turnovers now. The first 2, however, the fumble recovery, they had to punt after that. Then the interception, they missed a field goal, so they're trying to cash in on their 3rd turnover.
Yeah, they need to cash in on turnovers. Last week they created 5 turnovers against Illinois and didn't win the football game. You see they're plus 18 as of the 4th quarter of the Michigan. That's outstanding.
Excellent.
It's hard to believe that they've lost their last 5 out of 6.
All in the Big Ten. The only win coming over Northwestern. Bollinger nowhere to go, and he is taken down from behind by Larry Stevens. Let's take it down to the field and Rob Stone. Rob.
Well, Pam, Larry Stevens, not your prototypical D lineman. As a 210, 215-pound high schooler, he was a talented hoopster who played safety. The D-line coach who recruited him to Michigan knew he was going to get big, looked at his potential, and moved him as soon as he got here to the line, completely bypassing that whole linebacker level. Now at 6'3", 261, the former safety leads the D-line with the career-best 31 tackles coming into today's game.
That's amazing, Rob. Wearing that number 13 like a safety's number, and he is on the D-line. Bollinger, that's up in the air a long time. He's lucky Marlon Jackson didn't pick him.
Yeah, Marlon Jackson, and one of the top secrets, I guess, in the country as far as corners. You don't hear his name. Should be mentioned. It's not mentioned. And right there, he's just working over Charles. Charles does not push him enough, and Marlon Jackson, Marlon can feel his hands and see the coverage. Charles didn't push him down the field at all. There's no threat to go deep, so Marlon Jackson set on the out run, made a great breakup.
Marlon continues to build on his Michigan record for past breakups. He has 17. Charles Woodson had 15 in '96, the old record. Bollinger, Wade, that was a high pass. Marcus Curry covering Jonathan Orr. Surprised that Orr was able to even get a hand on it. That looked like it was going to sail on him.
Yeah, a high pass, but thrown where it only could be thrown. And Jonathan Orr did have 2 hands on it, it looked like. And Curry's doing a good job, but I like how Brooks Bollinger holds his composure in the pocket. He delivers the ball. And that's a great throw. A great throw, one that should have been caught, but Curry gets a hand in it. Right there's Holton. You got away with that one. But see that hand sneak in between the arms and bat it down. That's a great job by Curry. He got away with Holton and pulling the jersey.
Now Mike Allen in for a 51-yard field goal attempt. Obviously not going to do it. Instead, Pooch punts it, and it's bad. Boy, that did not work. Allen, again, his career long is 50. That would have been 52. A Poocher, and Michigan gets it in good field position. Wisconsin, again, can't convert on the turnover. Welcome back to Ann Arbor. Michigan up 21-14, and Mike Allen, normally the place kicker, showed us why he wasn't a punter on that last play. We'll show it to you again. Meanwhile, Michigan takes over 1st and 10 at 27 as Perry gets run into. Lamar Watkins with the tackle, Chris.
Yeah, this is a pooch kick, and it's a good call because you try to catch Michigan off guard. Now what happens, why he shanks it, is because he rushed it. He was not aware of the presence around him. That means there was no Michigan defenders. He could have took his time, set his feet, and kicked the ball down there and let you guys cover. But they work on it, and it's usually a rush kick. He rushed it and paid the price. And Barry wasn't too happy about it either. He let him know.
That was only a 7-yard punt, by the way, Chris, and it put Michigan in pretty good field position. Not much there, just a little bunch up on Perry. Here's Matt Weiner. Matt.
And we have another good one going on in the Big Ten. East Lansing, to be exact, Purdue and Michigan State. Damon Dowdell up top to Charles Rogers. Nice leaping grab, another highlight for him. They missed the PAT, so down a point, but Purdue punches it in. Jared Boyd, touchdown. Boilers now up by 8 on the road.
This catch is looking routine there for Charles Rogers as Michigan State and Purdue both battling. There are 7 ball openings for the Big Ten. The question is, will they get that many teams eligible? That ball is knocked down. Darius Jones with the tip. Sophomore from Beloit, Wisconsin.
Well, good job by Darius Jones, and what they did, they tried to run the bunch route, the one they scored their touchdown on to Braylon Edwards. But Wisconsin was in man-to-man, and they did a good job. See, Braylon Edwards is going to take it all the way across the field. Benny Jopru is going to follow him. Everybody's coming. Now, John Navard has good awareness to step up into the pocket. but what he could have done was possibly run for the third down, but John looks to pass first and not run, where if that were Brooks Bollinger, he would have taken off and probably gotten the first down.
And that's one thing the Michigan coaching staff would like to see John do more of. As Finley gets it away, there's Leonard. Dangerous punt return, man. He already has a touchdown today. It gets around the first wave of Michigan defenders, but then he is cut down around the 38-yard line. 44-yard punt, another 16 yards on the return for Leonard. Look at the snow flurries falling here on the 16th of November in Michigan. Wolverines up by a touchdown, but Wisconsin has the ball back. First down on its 39. Davis, nice hole through the right side, and he picks it clean and gets a first down into Michigan territory. Let's take a look at the punt, some action away from the football.
You see right here now, he gets the punt off and kind of fakes a little dive there. And you got two guys tussling right here. Now this guy has to be careful. Now you don't want to get a penalty. He's ready to throw the flag, but they're fighting it out. Now what happens is Alex Lewis comes out and takes his guy out and says, hey man, you don't need a penalty. But my question would be, Alex Lewis, what are you doing blocking me, dude? You got to be down there blocking somebody for Leonard.
As we look at Chris Catalano, he was the guy that was peeled off. Leonard still picked up 18 yards on that punt return. A little bit of a gain there. Hobson and Diggs closing in on Davis. Here's Matt Weiner.
And Pam, here's another Michigan State-Purdue highlight. Back and forth they go. Spartans on the move. Damon Dowdell looking for Charles Rogers, and Mr. Rogers back in Purdue's neighborhood. Catches it on the S and finds his way into the zone. Long pitch and catch for the touchdown, and Michigan State back in this game 31-30 now. Meanwhile, Kentucky recovering from that devastating loss last week. They're up big on Baylor.
All right, Charles Rogers showing that speed, and he's sort of fallen off a lot of people's radar screens this year because of the team struggles, but showing his talent. Bollinger picks up a couple of tough ones. Lots of candidates for best player, huh?
Yeah, these are the guys that I picked out. Brad Banks can do it with his arm and his feet. Charles Rogers, well, we just saw two highlights of what he can do. He's just a tremendous athlete. Larry Johnson leads the nation in all-purpose yards, a great runner, powerful. And these guys are my guys. They're the winner right there. The Iowa offensive line, because Iowa's success would not have been possible without the outstanding play by those guys. Mark May, I know you're listening to me back in the studio.
4 seniors and a junior. Those are the 5 seniors who went off together last week on senior day, as Bollinger's pass is incomplete, looking for his tight end, Tony Picciotti. Shante Orr has had a pretty good football game defensively for Michigan.
That's a great response by the Michigan defense right there. Again, they were putting a little bit of a hole. Big run by Anthony Davis, set up by the big return by Leonard, but they come out hold strong. Now Wisconsin, it's important for them, if they want to maintain the field position battle, that they need a good point, good punt from Morse right here to keep Michigan pinned back and create their own field position.
Again, Morse coming into this, he's struggling under 37 yards per punt on average in his last 2 games. And he is below that today. Let's take a look at his hang time, which has suffered. Boy, that was only 3. But it does take a good Wisconsin bounce, flag down close to where Morse got that punt off.
Special teams is killing them. They absolutely killing Michigan right now.
Lloyd Carr about 15 yards out on the field to voice his displeasure.
Now see if it's against Pierre Woods again. He's going to have an issue. Either Pierre, go block the punt, or don't rush. They're going to decline it. Yeah. He's running in the kicker. You won't get the first down.
Running into the kicker on the defense is declined. First down.
See, it doesn't kill him there because it wasn't 15.
Yep, that's for the 2nd straight time. It was against Woods, but both times it was 4th and 8, so it ends up not hurting Michigan after all. After the R.J. Morse punt rolled to the 7, that is where Michigan takes over with a 7-point lead, 1st and 10 here in the 4th quarter. Fast-moving game. Perry, quick, fast, first down, Moore. Tackled down by B.J. Tucker. NFL football coming your way tomorrow night on ESPN. It's the Patriots and the Raiders rematch, this time, however, in Oakland, so no snow. Coverage begins with NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite at 7:30 Eastern. It's also available on ESPN Deportes, ESPN and ABC, your exclusive home for primetime football. Big win last week for those Raiders, winning against Denver. Jerry Rice, 200 career touchdown catches. First guy ever to do that in the NFL.
Rich Gannon went for 21 straight completions.
Yep, record for him. Perry, about 1 yard gain. Let's go to Matt Weiner. Matt.
Hi, Pam. Nebraska and Kansas State today in Manhattan. And watch Jamal Lord. His team down 21-6. And Lord, nowhere to go, it appears. But Lord doing like Tommy Frazier a few years ago. Breaks back to the left side. Cuts back one more time into the end zone. Spectacular run. Nebraska now down by 8 elsewhere in the Big 12. Mizzou and Texas A&M tied up at 3 in the second quarter.
A&M is having a bit of a letdown today as they're coming off a pretty big win last week, to say the least. Talking about Oklahoma. 2nd and 8. Boy, Navarre all the way was looking for Bellamy, and he found him, but only picked up, I mean, literally a yard on that play.
Yeah, that's a dangerous throw now. And John Navarre has the arm to make that throw, and you only want to make that throw versus zone because the corners are playing off. But that was a long throw to make. Dangerous territory. If somebody got a jump on that, that could have been trouble. He threw it behind Bellamy, who did a good job of catching the football.
And if you're just joining us, John Navarre has thrown 2 interceptions today. He had only 4 on the entire season coming in. Luckily, though, it has not hurt Michigan. 3 turnovers. Wisconsin has turned them into 0 points. 3rd and 7. Big play here for the Wisconsin defense. Navarre retreating. Askew gets it and drops it as he was blanketed by Jake Sprague.
Yeah, Jake Sprague read his scouting report and watched the film because he saw B.J. Askew kind of bump him and then slide off. What Jake Sprague did was put a big claw on him, turned him around and played him man-to-man defense and pulled off his pass rush. Right there's the setup. But Jake Sprague, see, there's B.J. Askew. I'm not going to rush the passer. I'm going to go ahead and play man-to-man defense. And he didn't have possession of the ball. But again, Jake Sprague has the awareness, like he caused the fumble on B.J. earlier in the game, to punch that arm up through there to try to knock the ball out.
So it is ruled an incomplete pass, and that brings in Adam Finley. Jim Leonard, 4 punt returns for 73 yards. And guys just cannot get him an initial contact as he takes it up to the 46. 41-yard punt, 15-yard return.
Let's take a closer look and see if this was a fumble. See, he's kind of bobbling, Oh, that's close.
Very close.
That is close.
But it was ruled incomplete. So Wisconsin does get the ball back after the punt. American Forces Network, we welcome you with heartfelt gratitude to the men and women of the U.S. Air Forces in Europe watching on the American Forces Network, especially those in Aviano Air Base in northern Italy. And you are watching a good football game as Bollinger gets nothing on first down.
It's a good decision by Bollinger because LeSueur played the pitch. LeSueur was coming up. The pitch was covered. LeSueur said, I'll take the pitch too. If he would have pitched it, LeSueur would have been going to the end zone. Bollinger recognized that, tucked it, got down, prevented a turnover. But that play's dead. That's the 5th time they ran at. Michigan has defended the last 3 times. Coach Brian White will throw that out of his play calling because it's not successful anymore.
And as you saw from that last graphic, 4th quarter time is Bollinger time. So he has 7 career comebacks in the 4th quarter to this season. Darren Charles makes the catch. And a flag.
Yeah, take the penalty because you give you 6. Going up against a 5'11" Marcus Curry, you're going to win that battle. Darren Charles beat him inside and just shield him off like boxing out for a rebound. Had no chance.
And that is the call, much to Lloyd Carr's chagrin, on the interference. This Michigan defense being tested with less than 4.5 minutes to go in the football game.
That's a good slant. Away from the trips.
Pass interference. Defense. That penalty is accepted because it brings an automatic first down.
Yep, that's what I said. Here you go. There you go.
Steve Newman, our head official today from the Big Ten crew. Jim Herman, the defensive coordinator for this Michigan team. Signaling madly.
That's a good call. They had the size matchup up that worked the Marcus Curry.
Play as flags come down.
Well, let the pointing begin now. Start pointing over there. You point back. Somebody's got to point to somebody who jumped. Looked like the inside defensive tackle. Sean Lazarus.
Prior to the snap, false start.
Lazarus was prompted to move. Let's go to Matt Weiner.
First down.
Hi, Pam. Let's go back down to Stockville. As they like to say down there. Madre Dickerson pressuring Kevin Fant. Fant coughs it up. And Rashad Moore scoops it up. He'll score it. So Tennessee up 21-7. Arkansas still has an outside chance of winning the SEC West. They're winning out of conference right now.
All right, Matthew, that was the third false start called against Wisconsin in this game. Here's Bollinger using his feet. And the tough guy senior gets it down to the 39. That's an 11-yard gain. So it'll be 2nd and 4 coming up. Now, we mentioned his injury a couple of weeks ago. This is a hard hit.
That's Pagel from Iowa will come in here. Bam. Let's see if you're up at the next level. You know what that is? That's 75 grand. Because that's helmet to helmet. That's a good shot.
Big shot. He wasn't even a penalty on that. He also had a concussion against Ohio State back on October 19th. He did not play at all last week in the win over Illinois. Davis, nothing.
That's a great job by Victor Hobson, the senior co-captain linebacker, weaving his way in between blockers and getting an arm on Anthony Davis, who's tough to get an arm on because he's small and he hides behind those big hogs up front for the Wisconsin Badger offensive line.
Huge play coming up here, Chris. 3rd and 4 inside 3 minutes. 3rd and 4 from the 39. Wisconsin needs a touchdown. Keep this game going.
You need to get the ball in Brooks Bollinger's hands and put him in a position to make a decision to have the opportunity to run the football.
Instead, they give it to Davis. How about that for the first down? Boy, that surprised some folks on 3rd and 4.
Or if you got Anthony Davis, you give it to him. And it got Johnson right here coming, getting a pushing and holding Victor Hobson, but he gets the job done. See Johnson calling out. This is a smart guy. He calls out the fronts, and you see him come off, and he gets a job on Hobson, and he just yanks that arm inside there, not letting Victor get off the block, and Anthony Davis making a nice cut off Johnson, his all Big Ten center's block.
Big first down. Davis goes down right away. Hobson again.
Now, Victor's playing like this game means a lot to him. It's his last game in the big house, and he's playing like it. He's had a whale of a football game. And to bring Anthony Davis down with one arm is great effort.
We have Hobson for 10 tackles so far in this game. Leads his team in both tackles and tackles for loss this year. One of the co-captains.
You're looking at the clock now. You got 1:56 and counting. So this is going to be the ball game, this drive right here.
2nd and 10 from the 31. Bollinger looking for Williams the whole way, and that is broken up nicely. Jeremy Lesueur knocks it away. Let's go to Matt Weiner. Matt.
And once again, back to that Michigan State-Purdue game. Wild back and forth. Brandon Kirsch back to pass for the Boilermakers, up a point early in the 4th. It's tipped, and it is caught by Thomas Wright. It is taken back to the end zone for a Michigan State touchdown. Kirsch has since thrown his 4th interception of the game. 2-pointer failed, by the way, so the Spartans up by 5.
Thomas Wright, if anybody deserves to have something good happen, it's Thomas Wright. What a football player he's been for Michigan State this year.
All season long, the leader, and he gets himself a touchdown. Here it's 3rd and 10 for the Badgers. Bollinger with time, going for more in the end zone. And it's incomplete. Boy, he had him all the way.
And he underthrew him, and it gave time for Marcus Curry, who never quit on the ball. Great job, Marcus Curry. Never quit on it to be able to lunge and strip the ball out at the last second because he was beat. He was beat deep. Look at Marcus. That could be interference, but he did a good job. He had the awareness a little early, close to call, though. But that's great makeup speed. And if that ball was delivered on time, that's 6 points. Jonathan Orr had to slow up and wait for that football.
1 of 9 for 9 yards through the air here in the second half.
Yeah, and I got on Carl Diggs, the middle linebacker for Michigan, earlier in the ball game for not getting enough depth. This time he gets on on this play, the middle linebacker. He knows he needs to get back 12 yards. He's getting his depth. Tough deal.
7.
Chris Perry's run hard today, and the reason being because B.J. Askew was looking pretty good at tailback, but Chris Perry says, hey, I'm the tailback, and he's shown today why he should be the starting tailback. A lot of nice back.
Career high for him on the ground. Presented by the U.S. Postal Service as a doubleheader. Started off at 6 Eastern. South Carolina takes on Florida in the Swamp. Then at 9 Eastern, Baton Rouge. Alabama and L division title in the SEC. And a win tonight would get him a step closer, which is remarkable because Ron Zook under a lot of pressure early this season.
Would be.
Otherwise, they will not go to the bowl for only the second time.
By Barry Alvarez and Badgers, and Minnesota. That's a big trophy game. That's that Paul Bunyan axe game up there. That's a
by B.J. Tucker. That is a 43-yard gain for Chris Perry.
Yeah, and he got a great block from his partner, the guy that's not selfish, the guy that gave it up for the team, and B.J. Askew playing block on Alex Lewis. And that's a knockout. Chris Perry does a great job of cutting. Now he's going to try to get to the end zone. Makes the play, but Chris Perry secured the football, knowing that the guy was going to catch him. He's going to try to strip him.
So Perry continues to build Badgers, but he pops right back up.
And he got the wind knocked down. He got a foot in the gut.
We've had a couple of great performances here from running backs. Anthony Davis bouncing back, not playing last week, 154 yards, but Chris Perry outshining him here late.
I really like his style because he's a no-nonsense back. It's a one cut. He's got great vision. He usually makes the right decision, and he hits it up in there. And usually
eligible. These are the guys that Minnesota, Penn State. Wisconsin needs that one win, and again, there are 7 spots available for. They're going to have to scramble to get some guys in.
Yeah, you're right. And that's kind of unusual for the Big Ten. And I think Coach Jerry Bernardo from Indiana said it. There's a big difference.
Busters 5-0 to start. Ohio State has Illinois later today, but this Michigan team goes down to Columbus in a huge football game.
And it does, and it goes down with a little payback in there. Back, he was kind of quiet, though. He's not going to give me too much.
Wisconsin scored 0, offsetting the 154 yards next week to get to a ball game.
In there, and had a couple of difficult weeks.
What was helping you such? Was it you or your O-line?
And it's cold out there. They keep away. They have to run the football.